Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Die Party Fulcrum, a Mutants and Masterminds game. This is week number 2, and speaking about 2, it's about that time right now, 2 a.m. for me. So I'm just gonna handball it over to my other tired friends from the UK and the tea of the mighty dunk. Let's go over to. Hang on, just give me a moment here.
Center yourself.
Okay, all right. Fuzzy Freaks, hello. How are you this morning?
Apparently slightly more awake than you. But yeah, I managed to sleep. It was quite nice. I had a nice nap. It was lovely.
Well, that's good.
I'm good. I've got a cup of tea and a burning desire to go back to bed. So, hi.
All right. Speaking about a burning desire to get back in bed with me, let's go over to Peachy Pixel. How you doing, sir?
Man, Fuzzy laugh. How dare you?
I'm not tired. I woke up like 3.5 hours ago.
You don't have a sleep schedule.
Just for this show. Why's my camera all weird?
Because
Look way more handsome than this. There we go. No, it broke. Oh well. Hello.
Hello.
Anyway, sorry. Your bed. You mentioned there was beds.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty close to each other, right? We're like one time zone away, so like
Super close.
super close.
That's like 17 countries away.
Not
I mean,
really.
the distance between you two is literally World War II. So,
Yeah, then we just take over a few countries and come hang out with you. Speaking about taking over a few countries with his hair, let's go over to Mr. Nightmare. How you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing fine. Unlike everyone else, I am currently melting. For people who don't know, it's 40 degrees Celsius here. It's too hot. That explains the hair.
That is the kill old people and babies temperature, as I like to call it. It literally is the culling temperature. So
Because you get so mad, you just got to murder something.
no. It just literally like old people just don't wake up at 40 degrees. That's it. Babies also don't wake up. You know.
This is a
people-
light-hearted show. For
The
light-hearted.
people in the middle, they're all right.
The death temperature.
I took a cold shower. That's why the hair was like this. I was explaining the reasoning behind it, but let's not go down to the dark corridor of not waking up babies.
Dave wants to kill babies, so that's what we've acquiesced to that. And
Yeah,
this episode
Die-
is about killing babies.
Yeah, Die Party was literally designed around the death, or supporting the death of infants. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, speaking about supporting the death of infants, let's go to kill. Hello, Kelsa.
Yeah,
You may or
totally.
may not support the death of infants. How are you today?
I'm gonna leave it up to the people's imagination.
Okay.
I wouldn't actually. I would get out in front of this and set the record straight right away.
I have never personally killed an infant. There you go.
Well, there's always
That I am
time.
aware
I mean-
of.
But through in action, or I'm not sure if these segues are getting better or if my standards are just dropping. And
I mean, it's okay.
It made me laugh. That's the first test.
Yeah.
So, hi, I'm Kelsa. I do not support the killing of infants.
What if they're really annoying though?
I mean, if they're fictional infants, I can get behind that. But as if they're actual literal infants, then no. Anyway, yeah, I'm Kelsa, and I'm excited to be here. So
Sweet.
I'm doing a tweet, by the way. Look at me. I'm tweeting.
Yes, definitely.
yeah, tweet.
And host, and
I did the host. I just took a screen capture. I was all looking really derpy.
Speaking about hosting, we have a brand new Twitch streamer among us, guys and girls. Welcome to the newest internet sensation, Mr. Dr. Wreckage, aka
Professor.
aka
That's right, ladies
Magic
and
the
gentlemen.
Gathering streamer.
this week, every day of the week except for today, I have streamed Magic the Gathering online.
I'm so sorry.
Also, if you don't follow him, he will murder children. Okay, he can be stopped.
Actually, excitingly, I have streamed for 3 viewers each time, except for the first time where I was rated for 60 people.
Everyone
None
gets
of whom
one.
followed.
Everyone gets one. Everyone gets one.
So everybody gets one, and
Yeah.
it wasn't you, Dave. It was Mrs. Mulligan.
That's what I'm saying. That's
You hosted me for 2 people.
That's literally Spider-Man. That's literally Spider-Man.
Anyway,
comes down.
everybody
and he's
gets
like,
one.
Everyone gets one. Yeah.
I would have wanted to cash that in at another point in time, but there you go. My moment of fame when I had a total of 60 people on my stream for the very first day of it has come and passed already. Yeah, like, you know, I don't actually think anybody here, until such time as I start to stream tabletop role-playing games on my channel, which will eventually happen, as well as perhaps prep for my various games, I do not believe that anybody present... I mean, you might be interested in Magic the Gathering Online, but that's what I'm streaming right now. So that's what you can come watch if you want to. But more importantly...
It's too late. I already followed you.
It's too late, you fool. More importantly, let's play a game. Everybody ready to play a game? Everybody want to have fun?
I know.
Huh?
Yay, fun.
Yay,
I remember
yay.
that.
Yeah, I remember having
I
fun.
did a thing. Okay.
Okay.
And then
I tweeted a thing.
she tweeted a thing. Everybody get ready for the influx of Fuzzy's followers.
It's amazingly.
That was you
No.
tweeting the thing. My phone just told me that you tweeted a thing.
I can do things.
So
You're
last
all super professional.
last week we rejoined our group of heroes at the Rebel meeting. Our heroes were not swayed, but Mr. Price, the leader of the Rebels, offered everyone a job that, regardless of the fact that Mr. Price was offering it, our heroes could not refuse, to reestablish cell phone connectivity in the city.
Instant.
And our heroes successfully placed several of the most important, strange, unidentifiable devices that did in fact restore a cell signal to everyone's phones, and went home and went to bed. But they did so without Aubrey, because Aubrey had mysteriously vanished during the party.
Irish goodbye is not a mystery.
It's
Really
a mystery.
isn't. Wouldn't get that.
Aubrey, and indeed everyone,
Yeah.
it is the next morning, quite early. In the morning, perhaps too early, you awaken groggily in the bed of a stranger.
Mm.
A very strange stranger. You roll over
17 arms.
to see, very good guess, Dave, a 6-armed woman, naked, or in the sheets with you. She is still asleep herself, but as she rolls over, visions of the previous night that were somewhat drunkenly forgotten return to you, of the beautiful 6-armed woman, who really caught your attention with the fact that she also has 2 sets of breasts.
It's also very helpful that you have 6 penises. So, like...
Is her name Eccentrica Golumbits?
No.
is that a
I
British
would-
thing? Is that a British thing? Like, did everyone else not get that aside from
I didn't
BT?
get that either,
Like-
Dave. It might be a British.
Okay, great.
He
Just
tries
checking.
the Galaxy reference.
Yeah.
Peachy got me. Peachy got me.
I got you, boo.
You are awoken before dawn
Mhm.
by how uncomfortable you are. This woman's bed, although it has been well kept, and her space, although it is nice, is still just a mattress on a floor. There are sheets hung around you that serve as walls, and candles, which were presumably lit during your coitus, have all burnt out around you. There is some form of blinking neon light shining through gaps in the curtain walls, and you are confronted with you can tell that it's very humid in here. I don't know how else to say it, right? It's very damp wherever you are.
You got two special powers when the Fulcrum hit you. The ability to technologically make anything you want, and the ability to tell how humid it is.
Dave, you might be surprised to learn,
bonus power,
since you come from the land down under, that every human is actually capable of sensing humidity.
What?
There just isn't anywhere you're from. So yeah, your uncomfortable setting has awoken you early. It's hard to tell exactly what time it is. There's no visible clock, but it's before dawn. And you spent a night. She is very, very beautiful, despite having 2 extra sets of arms and maybe not despite having an extra set of breasts, but she is slender and lean and well fit.
I'm sure I got her name.
I think they were trying to say well fit again.
Roll to remember her name. You scandal. No, I'm just kidding. Her name.
That's scandalous.
She's well fit, isn't she, mate? Sorted.
Thank you for
Watch out, jabblies.
giving me the semen I needed to make sure that my dozen of spider eggs behind me hatch later today.
I'm offended by the thought.
You never see me having sex, right?
I'm offended that the idea that anything that has multiple limbs must be spider themed. Anyway, her name is Hannah.
Okay.
Montana.
Awesome. All right. So when I pull out my cell phone to use the built-in light,
Fuzzy went somewhere else with that.
Me too.
When I pull out my cell phone to take a picture of her for my success folder.
I was just gonna skip over that part narratively. It's probably to use the flashlight to get dressed. Do I notice that I have bars or no?
Okay, so here's my question. If you're getting out the flashlight to get dressed, are you trying not to wake Hannah? Because the flashlight's it'd be very glaring, you can do that. It would take a stealth check though.
Yeah, I think so, because these are not familiar surroundings, and I don't want to put on something weird and moist that's not my own clothing.
All right, that's totally fair. So you're definitely using it, but you're also trying not to awaken her.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. You had some free ratings in stealth because you survived 8 months in the city on lockdown.
Oh god. I thought you were about to say prison. Because
of your time in the clank, you served your nickel. Anyway, you can roll stealth whenever you would like.
Did you increase my ability scores like you said you were going to do?
I did also. So
Which ability score exactly?
We did all ability scores across the board for everyone in order to more accurately represent.
Really?
How's his stamina now?
Yeah.
We basically short sold everybody during character creation by 1 rank, and so we everybody across the board went up 1 rank in everything, which kept it completely even.
Cool. Yes, because my agility had been -1 and now it is 0.
Yes.
Okay, so did you do just the base stats, or did you do skills as well?
No, it did not include skills.
Okay,
it was just for base stats.
Just checking.
Okay, but I still rolled really well, so.
All right. Yeah, actually, and you roll sufficiently for the level of task that you were performing. She's asleep, and she's not on guard in any way, shape, or form. And you're just very, cautiously, you got your cell phone out, but you sort of got the light hidden a little bit as you're like, oh, those are my clothes on that and over there.
Right, exactly.
You reclothe yourself without awakening Hannah, and are capable of leaving her room. at your leisure.
I can't believe you're sneaking out without even saying goodbye.
I haven't said that yet.
He hasn't left yet, technically.
But you want to have the clothes on before she wakes up, just in case.
I mean, she has 6
I would-
arms. You don't know how extra fertile she is, alright? So, like...
She also has 6 wombs.
Oh!
No, she doesn't. I'm joking. She doesn't have 6 wombs.
Poor lady's vagina. She gets
I
pregnant.
spent like 3 brain cycles figuring out the logistics of that. Thank you. Okay, so
That's thoughts time you'll never get back.
it is. It
Brain
is.
time.
I actually had a friend who had 2 wombs, which was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Do you
yeah,
have an extra period if that? My brain hurts.
right?
Oh god, what if her periods were out of sync?
Ugh. Okay.
No, legit, she actually got pregnant in one and was still having periods with the other.
Ugh.
Also, do you no longer have her as a friend, or does she no longer have 2 wombs?
I haven't spoken to her in fucking years.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now that we're past that, geez.
That's an important question.
Right? So
Womonomics.
I want to find something I can write a note with.
There is definitely nothing immediately available in her be curtained room.
All right. I figure I probably have like a scrap of paper on me somewhere, like in my wallet or whatever, a receipt that I haven't needed for 8 months and it's like completely faded to white. And I need like a pencil or a pen or a piece of charcoal or
Are
something.
you saying the mad inventor does not always have a pencil somewhere?
No, man. Oh God.
Well,
that's
also, that she's not like she hasn't, or he. I forgive me. He has not become a scientist. He just has a power that lets him create the things that he wants to create. It's so he doesn't suddenly have a hobby of sketching ideas and engineering and etc.
Plus, usually I'm just like, hey, I need a pencil, and then Dirk produces one, and it's fine.
I don't see any reason to say that you don't have if you want to say that you have a receipt.
Okay.
But I mean, a receipt and a pencil I mean, sure, it's fine if you want to say that you have it all. You have it all.
You could do the scumbag thing, just her lipstick on her bedroom mirror.
I mean, does she have lipstick? I could. I wouldn't.
The paints with the period.
Just scroll red rum on the wall in lipstick and leave.
That's yeah. And I just walk out now.
There are some. Actually,
I probably would not do that because of the scarcity of makeup. If she has some, it would be valuable.
That's actually very true and well stated. But I will say that to answer the question, she does have what appear to be storage. She doesn't have like a side table with drawers in it, but she has boxes that function clearly as storage in her room. So the things that she owns are most likely about in these boxes.
How good was the coitus if Aubrey is this intent on getting back in contact with her? Because Aubrey's the whole, right?
6 arms.
You ever had a
6
6-handed hand job?
Arms. I
I'm
mean,
not going to answer that.
I mean,
That's the mother of all reach arounds, right?
yeah, well, yeah. Why have 1 in the stink when you can have 15? Right?
that's weird. Okay.
It's
I'm
not
just gonna say that
nearly
most
late enough
people
for me
I
to
know
handle this.
always have a pen on them.
That's weird.
I'm still having a disparity of at least 1 arm.
Ignore it. Move on. Ignore the arm. It's a secret surprise arm.
I mean, how many things needs to be stimulated, really? You've got 6. Anyway,
Wreckage, when you wrote this scene, how long do you think we'd spend on it?
look, Telsa came to me and said, I want to go home with a mutant. And I said, okay. That's as much thought as I put into this. You guys are putting in way more thought than I ever did.
Okay.
It's sex, of course we are.
Of course. That explains so much.
We're
Okay.
gonna have a lot more sex scenes in the future, just to keep the players entertained.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh god, it's gonna be
Pay
one of
top
those.
dollar for a
Apparently,
dirt
if
sex.
chat is to be believed, I have started the waves of the ocean that is to bang a tail lady. So that wasn't my intent, but we'll see where we go with that.
I mean,
mean,
we could
she's a
high five
tail.
over that.
Thing is, this
You
is
want me to
Sydney,
put
so
in a good word when
you
I
got a
steer
tail?
on my way
Are you
out?
Illuminati. You know where he's like tinfoil hat.
I don't feel right going through, just pawing through her stuff.
leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to wake her up over this either.
I mean, it's a curtain. It's not a door. You could easily just brush it aside and see what's actually happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm gonna check around outside of her room, see where I'm at. If I wind up finding a pen in the next 5 minutes, I'll go leave her a note. If not, then maybe she'll catch me at the firehouse. I probably mentioned that.
So, as soon as you brush the curtain aside, you sort of immediately... You and Hannah had a good time after leaving the party. That also involved alcohol and basically walking around the city having a good time. Then she brought you back to her place. But by then, you were already a little
Drunk.
drunk, and you haven't been... Alcohol is a rare special thing in the city.
Toilet wine.
You haven't had alcohol.
Finest toilet wine.
You maybe have no longer had the amount of stamina when it comes to drinking that you previously had. So coming home with her was a little blurry.
Brew for the finest rats.
But after brushing aside the curtain, you are immediately aware of why the air pressure and was sort of off in this place. When the curtain brushes aside, you see very high ceilings and tiled floor underneath you. And everywhere you see other personal spaces that have been constructed out of whatever is at hand. This one happens to be in a corner near a window. And through the window is blinking a big neon sign. And the neon sign is Canada Mart, which is the big department store, grocery, clothing, home accessory, electronic chain for the city. And it's clear that you are inside the old Canada Mart on the west side of town. This was actually the Canada Mart that you would have gone for shopping from your home closest to the old location of your home. And the interior has been stripped clean of all possible supplies, a lot of which has been repurposed to make these individual living spaces. And even though it is, now that you have a chance to look out a window and see the sky, maybe 4:30 a.m., there are some people moving around. And they are all mutants. Everyone that you see is not only a mutant, but very noticeably not doing the thing that you've previously seen of mutants, which is I'm putting on as many possible layers of rags to hide my mutations as possible. They're sort of openly walking around or sliming around or shuffling around or crawling on the ceiling. I mean,
Cool.
yeah, there's a lot of things going on. That's where you find yourself.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back inside. I'm gonna wake her up.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
can I wait until dawn?
I mean, you're allowed to just
Round
Sit.
2, JPEG.
you're allowed to just sit and do nothing for
You
Yeah,
could go back
I'm
to
gonna
sleep.
open up
I mean, like, fuck. I sit in the corner for 7 hours.
I'm gonna do that thing like in Fallout where you're like, all right,
Just watching her.
I just set wait for 3 hours because that's when the NPC will be available.
right?
Out.
Yeah, I'd probably wind up falling asleep, but
All right, so first of all, it's spring at this point. Just to reiterate, so dawn is actually several hours away at the soonest.
mhm.
But you just want to sit and wait, maybe fall back asleep, just
Yeah.
let time pass.
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think I want to be up this early. It's a little uncomfortable, but you know, maybe we'll get some snuggle time in with Hannah. We'll be fine.
All right. One of my player characters in the TTRPG literally just set the wait function.
All right, so we're all gonna come back like IRL 2 hours later. Let's.
For reals. Dawn of the second day of play. It is dawn now. The light shines through, and already in the Canada Mart, you are hearing the sounds of a large number of people who live together awakening for the day. You smell delicious food as well,
Ooh.
wafting through the open air of the Canada Mart. You smell eggs, which you haven't smelled in forever.
Oh no.
You smell perhaps meats being fried.
Who laid the eggs?
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Got perhaps the feral kitten might want to get the that's my fetish.jpg ready, because apparently this is going to keep happening as we explore everyone's going to presume that every single thing is the result of a mutant, and all of those things are fetishes.
Right in the cloaca. Oh yeah.
People laying eggs. Oh man. You smell delicious foods wafting through. Another question I have for the other members of the party. Presumably the most likely to be this way would be Sydney Joshua, but are any of you expressly rise with the dawn types?
I imagine that I would be using the gym maybe with my good man Aaron. I imagine
Definitely.
we are like morning workout buddies now, and have been for the past maybe
I'd
6
say
or 7
Tiffany's probably a morning person as well, but more of a coffee and catching up on her reading.
I like to watch the boys work out in the morning.
Possibly, yeah. Sat there with like a Mills and Boone, just like.
Dirk is in his Transformer jammies, utterly confused at these people, like seemingly making themselves sweat on purpose.
All right. What was that last bit there, Peachy?
Basically, if you want to condense this, I'm watching two men sweat.
Would you
Okay,
really
so-
be up in the morning? Come on now.
Sydney, Dirk, under what circumstances does Dirk wake up with the dawn?
Yeah. Oh no, it's raid time! Like his internal clock is still going off.
Yeah, when my old
Dirk's probably just going to bed.
craft before the net went down, we used to raid at dawn because it sounded cool. We were called the Dawn Raiders, the guild I was in.
Jesus fuck. Okay, so
You
every
just
single
never went to
character,
And your
sleep, that's the
tagline
thing.
was, "It's
Yeah,
always
it's like
dawn
that.
somewhere in the world."
every single character has contrived a reason to be awake at dawn. Now, I hope you know that this means that next time when I ask which one of you stays up late, the answer is no to all of you. Okay, so we've all forfeited staying up late for waking up with the dawn, except for maybe Aubrey.
Fine
Um,
contrivances.
Find contrivances. Exactly. That is the secret power in this game.
I call it setting an alarm, actually. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing contrived about being early to bed and early to rise. So you guys are doing whatever your morning routine has been in the firehouse for the last 8 months. I mean, you probably fell into it after the first few months. It might have been a little rough at first.
How dangerous is it to actually go for a jog these days?
Um,
Because I imagine that's what I'd be doing with Stripe, but like
for you, it's not there's no threat to you particularly, but like there are random muggings quite often. Crime is way up because people are no longer scrambling for monetary gain, but oftentimes for food to eat.
yeah.
And there are conflicts that occur with superpowered individuals and the floppies on a random basis, so you could always accidentally get caught up in that. But as long as your eyes are peeled and you stay safe and you don't go too far, it shouldn't be any more dangerous than living in the city in general.
Okay. Well, I imagine. I mean, maybe. Like, I don't know. It's up to you, Aaron. But do you feel like you would be joining Sydney on these jogs and stuff?
I wouldn't let I wouldn't let any fear stop me from my morning workout routine. I probably wouldn't even be aware of it. I'm like, yeah, they're just going to go jog.
Where are you guys going?
Jogging.
Go to a run.
Can I come?
Are you sure? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, please
I
come
don't
with
know
us.
where Aubrey is.
Well,
That's a good question.
he's probably, having.
I feel like this is
fun
not
with
the first
someone
time
else.
Aubrey has not come home.
Why
And
don't- what-
Dirk is worried every single time.
If you want to come for a run with us, you're going to need better footwear than those Crocs.
Okay. And I'm gonna run off and get changed.
Oh god, do you have like white school plimsolls
I will
somewhere?
come back moments later with like a school PE white vest, like white boxes and LA Gear lights.
Well, that's as good as it's going
Fuck
to
her
get.
LA Gear lights.
You stomp them on the floor and they flash with little LEDs in the soles.
So I just like do the whistle thing. I can't actually do it. My little brother can, and it's real frustrating that I can't do it. But do the dog whistle thing, and then I say the typical walkies. Then maybe Stripe comes bounding up the stairs like a fucking idiot, just be like, blah, blah. Because I imagine he sleeps in the basement.
Hey, Dirk, if you fall behind, Stripe gets to eat you.
Dirk just starts running.
Have you done the wrong? Okay.
You know how Phoebe jogs in Friends?
The arm
That's
straight
Dirk
down.
jogging.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of something else. Yeah.
I'm just there like with a book just going. What?
No, also my socks are pulled up really high, you notice, because now I'm wearing shorts, as opposed to the thick corduroy I usually wear.
All right, Dirk, you're making the run with Sydney and the Spartan.
Yes.
So Dirk, you're gonna need to make a stamina check.
Because it's unusual for him to do this, I guess. That makes sense.
There isn't really on the API. Actually, I'm incorrect. You actually need to make an athletics check. So, my question is, Sydney and the Spartan, how long is your jog?
It's probably like it was normally like maybe like 3 to 5K, but if
Roll for
Dirk is
sudden
gonna
death.
come with us, we would definitely shorten it down.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're like, okay, we're gonna have to shorten it down if he's gonna come with us, and like in your mind, you mentally map this shorter route.
It's probably like maybe 2 blocks. Maybe.
2 blocks? Okay, 2 blocks he handles just fine if you're only doing 2 blocks. Dirk, you're utterly capable of jogging 2 blocks with Sydney and the Spartan. But
It's because of the scare of Stripe eating me.
yeah, but at the end of 2 blocks, Sydney and the Spartan, you haven't actually experienced any amount of workout at all.
I'm like leaning on a stitch.
So then maybe
And
I
Dirk
guess
might be dying.
Yeah, maybe we would just, I don't know, like increase the gym partition of what we do in the mornings because of it.
All right.
Yeah.
So this might be a something that continues to happen.
It's upper body day today. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Every day is chest day.
Yeah.
So we've established that Aubrey's absence is not unheard of.
Well,
Yeah.
I imagine like it's pretty much like this is just sort of a house, right? It's not like 8 months we cuddle together like a fucking
For warmth.
for warmth. It's not like that at all. It's just like, you know, the moment that I imagine the actual scenario that happened was the moment that the street closed down was the moment that all of sort of the outcasts of the street sort of came and asked to stay somewhere close by, or maybe they sort of recognized that Sydney was like someone that they could ask for help during this time when they had nowhere else to go. I don't know.
Sounds like hot fireman.
There's a question there as to what happened to Dirk's mother, but other than that,
Well, for
I
the
feel
five
like-
of you specifically, what ended up happening, the reason why it's the 5 of you in the firehouse is because the 5 of you were affected with the actual event. For sure, maybe other people on your block were as well, but the 5 of you for sure were affected, and it caused you all to. There wasn't just a snap change, right? Including for people like with mutations. You did not immediately have your power the second that it happened. The process of developing your power was an agonizing, genuinely medical, organic event that occurred afterwards. So, Sydney, you just had Sydney and the Spartan in particular, Aaron. You guys, the nature of your powers affected you less than the other 3. You were able to maintain consciousness, but in the ensuing chaos, 911 was completely off the line. Like the streets were literally jammed with traffic. So as an EMT, you took them to the firehouse to try and maintain their vitals.
Okay.
And it was just sort of the 5 of you at the firehouse as the communications come back on. The news tells you that this has happened everywhere. You know, they're calling a state of emergency. So in the first few weeks, it wasn't really practical for them to go elsewhere. This is where they had to sleep because this is where they were safe, and you had brought them there already. And then you realized you couldn't go home, and then it sort of just evolved into this situation where it was like, oh, okay, well, the 5 of us are here. This place fits 5
I
of
guess
us.
we live here now.
Yeah, it's like our homes have literally been demolished. Like, that's basically just the process.
Bagsy top bunk.
There are bunks in firehouses for when you're on call over the night. So actually, there were bunks to Bagsy top bunk.
Yeah.
But also Americans, which is what you're playing, don't say that. How dare
Wow. Get
How
angry.
dare you? How dare you completely misrepresent my culture?
I don't know the colloquialism for
I
bag.
call top bunk.
Culture.
Culture, Dave. All right.
Culture.
Yeah.
So Aubrey, it's morning in Canada Mart.
Mm-hmm.
Your plan, whether or not you slept, was sort of to wake Hannah with the dawn. She has not gotten up herself yet. So you still have an opportunity here to wake her up, or escape forever, never to be heard from again.
Well, I think I probably want to wake her up because I had a good time last night, and
Okay.
I don't want to. I remember how hostile some of the mutants were to normals. I'm not sure I want to
Normies.
navigate that by myself.
That's a fair point.
So yeah,
So
I'm
you
gonna
awaken her.
wake her up kindly.
She does
So-
that when you first wake up and you inhale sharply.
Mhm.
Yawn, transition to a yawn, and all 6 of her arms stretch in different ways.
All 4 of her boobs go elsewhere.
Mhm.
She's not clothed. her eyes flutter open, says, "Good morning, handsome.
Good morning, Hannah.
Didn't expect to see you here."
It's happening.
Well, I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye.
Mm-hmm. She sort of says, "How much time you got to say goodbye?"
Well, it depends. You think you can, do you know anyone who could help me get across that line?
She sort of frowns. "So you didn't actually plan on staying?"
Well, that's not what I said. Depending on how easy it is for me to get across there, it's how early I need to leave. Got someone to help me out? I got all the time in the world.
You're a smooth talker. But I see right through you, Mr.
Wait, what was your name again?
She does spend a moment searching for your last name. But just concludes with Aubrey.
I'm not going to correct her. It's fine. I think I smile, like I smirk a little bit, like you remembered that much. Like, I'm
6
proud of
times
that.
and they're all calling your bullshit. That's great. Yeah. She's sort of just being playfully coy with you, though. She's, as she said, "I know you're a smooth talker, Mr. Aubrey. Doesn't hurt that you're such a looker either."
You certainly are not slouching the looks department yourself.
She, unlike the way that a woman would typically take a compliment, you can.
Please! How do women typically take compliments? Please tell us.
Curious, yes.
Wreckage is a trap. It's a trap. Wreckage. It's a trap.
Unlike the other ways that women can take a compliment, in this instance, you can see that she smiles, but the smile betrays a serious lack of self-confidence. As she said, she's already admitted that you're a smooth talker, and there's some amount of her facial response that suggests she maybe doesn't believe you. She's very clearly conscientious about her condition.
I would like to show her again with my mouth, but not my words, how beautiful she is.
All right, can you make an athletics check?
Athletics check? Sweet. Is it to get past her arms when she tries to defend you? Like.
Oh man, my athletics is not that great.
No, I'm kidding. This is actually a persuasion check.
That I'm much better at.
It literally is a persuasion check.
Much better.
You're just happening to persuade her with your tongue.
Absolutely.
So you guys persuade each other for the next 20 or so minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
After which, and I will not go into detail, you savages. She.
Especially because it's being raided as well.
It was the perfect time for it.
Hi, welcome to the oral sex channel. Wait, what? No.
Yes, one of our players has literally just actually for real passed an oral sex check.
That is what happened.
Welcome to the stream where she literally passed an oral sex check on a 6-armed, 2-breasted, 2 sets of breasts. Not 2-breasted.
Four-breasted.
Four-breasted specimen of womanly perfection. After your 20-minute persuasion check, she follows that with, come get breakfast with me, and then I'll show you to somebody who can help you get home.
Yeah. It does smell wonderful.
She dresses in an underlayer of normal clothing and then puts on the sort of emergency parkas that I've been describing everybody wearing. they are part of the supplies that get shipped in regularly. And as a
Are
result,
these like
there are
bright orange things or whatever?
no, they're actually they're sort of military green. They're literally part of U.S. military disaster aid stuff. So it has this it's not literally camo, but it is that particular sort of dark, almost grayish green that the military uses quite a lot for their boots and stencils and etc. And as they get more progressively worn down, you see some that are brown, black, just with wear, tear, dirt, and muck. And those that have the privilege of receiving a new one out of recent supplies, you can tell from the nice colored green that it is. And she's wearing a moderately worn over parka, basically. She leads you by the hand down through the previous aisles of Canada Mart, where previously at 4:30 a.m. it was a couple of mutants here and there wandering around, but now with dawn approaching, everyone is outside their personal spaces, stretching, talking, playing cards, drinking, laughing. Children who are unfortunately mutated are running through the aisles, playing and laughing and having a good time.
Being little shits, because that's what kids do.
You're a mother.
Yes, I am. I know.
you know, man, you weren't there.
I've seen some shit, literally.
Literally.
I mean, for all you know, one of these kids could be mutated literally into shit. A little shit.
Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. No.
Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. She leads you by the hand down the aisles, and you get many sidelong glances from mutants who don't seem hostile. They seem concerned with your presence.
I want to put on the air, like, there's a particular presence that I want to exude, which is like kind of a calm nonchalance of like, I'm not
Fine.
bothered. I'm not
Everything's
bothered
fine.
by you. This is not a problem. It's totally normal. While at the same time, I'm here with Hannah and I like her, but not not in such a way as look at how normal I am. I get the hot chick. Like the balance.
All right, so that's very multi-layered. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you roll a persuasion check again.
Okay.
And then roll it, and then we'll do part 2 here.
Okay.
All
Oh.
right. You totally bombed that. So the question is,
Yeah.
are you focusing more on this is fine, everything's fine, I'm normal, I'm cool, or are you focusing more on I actually really like this girl, so there's not a problem here? Which one are you focusing on?
It's gonna have to be I'm normal, I'm cool.
All right, so you're trying very hard to be like, this is fine, everything's fine. Yeah,
It's fine.
nothing.
Totally fine.
They're all just normal people.
Mhm.
Nothing phases me.
No,
And
totally.
Hannah leads you by the hand around a corner where a giant slug person with eyes for skin is lounging and being cleaned by another mutant, and you audibly go, "Holy shit!"
Oh my
and your hand
goodness.
immediately snaps to your mouth. And Hannah, first of all, the slug mutant looks very sad. And the person who's helping, the person who's helping, like, tend to what must be a very there's an attendant who's also a mutant sponging him off. She's considerably less mutated.
I have so many questions, like, literally does he
dear,
see
don't worry about this. But, you know, she starts immediately like, it's fine, blah, 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 blah. And, like, he's sort of like, some of his many thousands of eyes are welling up with tears.
Dick.
And Hannah, like, leads you away very quickly. And she says, I'm sorry, I didn't even think. I knew that was there. That's not your fault at all. It's very startling. Just don't worry about it. let's just continue over to the and plenty of mutants saw your outburst.
Of course they did.
But she continues to lead you to the place that used to be the deli and Canada Mart where you could get fresh meats and also like pizzas and the things that impulse buyers would buy to eat, fresh sandwiches. For the most part, the counters there have been knocked down, and in their place, a lot of cooking stuff has been spread out. There's a vent that goes outside that has been sort of expanded to accommodate what is a much larger and robust
Kitchen area?
yeah, for what is basically, you can see there are lines, there are tables set out, and a host of mutants are cooking what appear to be perfectly normal products of food that are not military aid, and serving it to the assembled mutants. Like, they have eggs, they have bacon, they have sausages.
Hannah, this is amazing.
Pancakes.
I haven't had pancakes in 8 months.
Well, you're about to see the second best thing about going home with me, sugar. And she takes you over to the line.
It's a great impression of a woman. Well done.
I'm doing my best, Fuzzy.
Just channel your inner, just.
You know, you're not the first female player I've had, but you're the first one to be this sassy about it.
Well, deal with it.
Okay, I'm dealing
Do a
with
better job.
I apologize for not being half as sassy as her.
Yeah, where were you the other times I've been role-playing women in your presence, Kelsa? I didn't know, okay? How can I improve if you don't tell me that that's not what women say or do?
Has a woman ever called you sugar?
A woman has never looked at me. So
that edge of disgust, it feels.
she leads you by the hand to the breakfast line, basically, briefly vouches for you, and you go back with a plate full of basically the American standard breakfast: eggs, bacon, sausages, toast, and some side pancakes with syrup.
This is real maple syrup. How did you get this?
Well, it was here. All they've had to do is keep the refrigerators running.
Wow.
They literally live in a supermarket.
I mean, I'm surprised that the supplies have lasted you this long.
Well,
There's so many of you here.
Kent and the boys keep out anybody who isn't one of us. You'd be surprised how far a big box store like this that serves the city can serve a community of, really only a few dozen or few dozens. She sort of, like, her eyes go up, and maybe math isn't her strong suit. But a cursory glance says that there are less than 100 mutants here. They all have enough space, for example, on the floor to have a room about the size of Hannah's. Having torn down everything and sort of built up these things, and of course there's probably people in the back in the warehouse, etc. But there probably aren't more than 100 mutants here.
I'm surprised you didn't say something like, "Wow, you weirdos eat real good."
Why would I say that?
Because you failed your persuasion check earlier.
That persuasion check doesn't carry over.
Okay.
That was earlier.
Aubrey was trying to make a good impression and instead made a terrible impression. But that doesn't mean that Aubrey carries over into being insensitive.
Think of like the perception check that eyeball slug would have to make. It'd be crazy.
That eyeball slug probably has amazing perception, or has no powers at all, and how sad would that be?
He can see.
What's your power?
He can see into the future and into the past, but he can't see right now.
He's got all those eyes, but he's got glaucoma in all of them.
Oh.
All those eyes, but
He's got
really
thousands of eyes, but he can only ever choose 2 to be looking out of.
And they can't be on the same side of his body.
He can only see out of his ass.
Ooh.
You and Hannah speak for a little while, and the conversation, you keep talking about how amazing the food is, how presumably, since you're a smooth talker, how amazing she is.
Oh, of course.
And the conversation floats multiple times over to Kent. She keeps talking about Kent and how well he's doing running the places.
Wait, is this the same Kent that we met earlier?
Oh, so professional, so professional.
This was a very long run.
You'll be fine. I mean, Mike doesn't look that hungry yet.
I brought sandwiches.
I like the idea that everyone went for a run and the only person who's sweating is Dirk. And the dog's not even panting, he's just like...
So, sorry about that.
Is this the same Kent that we met earlier? Or that I met earlier?
Maybe. I mean, unless there's more than one mutant Kent.
I mean, it is Canada City, I assume. There's at least maybe one other person named Kent. Right?
There's probably quite a lot of other people named Kent, but also he's definitely a mutant. So...
It's probably the same Kent.
It may well be.
Like, is she referring to... Does she... Okay. I guess I can wait and to ask this question until you're done, but... Basically, is she keep going back to Kent because he's the leader, or she keep going back to Kent because she has a thing for him?
All of the ways in which she has mentioned Kent are when you ask a question about how things are still functioning around here, or how well they're functioning, or how come no one knows about all the food you have here, because that would be a huge target bullseye painted on on Canada Mart. All of that goes back to, well, Kent and his group do this, and Kent and his group do that, and, you know, they make sure this, and they make sure that, and they killed so-and-so, and such, and, like, you know, whatever story she knows. Like, she also mentions other names when it comes to Kent's group, but Kent is also the one you met at the party, so that one stands out to you. And you have no doubt that Kent could do those things. And ultimately, when breakfast is coming to an end, she sort of clasps your hand and looks at you and says, "Are you sure you have to go back across?"
I'm afraid so. I got my, got some people I'm taking care of over there. Listen.
There's that flash through her eyes like, is there another woman? But she doesn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah, and then it like flashes over to Dirk being like, or something like that. It flashes back.
I'm like through my dimensional pole. I'm throwing out all these aspirin inhalers. Now. Oh, got a little bit.
And I'm just like rubbing your back and just like, why did you go running with us if you're asthmatic? That literally makes no sense.
Yeah. So he says, "Listen, I used to own a shop downtown, and if things start picking up, I want to open it back up again. But before that, let me give you directions to my place."
She will take your... When you say your place, do you mean the firehouse?
I do mean the firehouse.
Now, this is... I'm not sure you appreciate this in character, but telling people where you live in a city where people rob, cheat, steal, and attack each other on a regular basis is not an empty gesture. So her response to that is very much...
been to where she lives, so I'm
sure.
It's also surrounded by like
trust.
literally people who have eyeballs coming out of their skin.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not suggesting you wouldn't, but what I am bleeding into is that when you give her the address, she takes it lovingly, looks into your eyes, and says, grabs you by the hand, and says, "Okay, it's time to see Kent. Then he can get you back across the line." And she takes you past where the checkout used to be. And for the American viewers who are aware of what supermarkets are like,
supposed to the ones that never go to the supermarket.
Oh, stop fucking
American...
cornering all our audience, all right? Jesus Christ.
So the she leads you past the checkout, and then there's the big two-way or one-way mirror that also is up a level to overlook all the cashiers, to watch for pickpockets and sleight of hands and people who run out with stuff, etc. And just to keep an eye on where the majority of the staff are working in any given day. And she leads you up the stairs to basically the manager's office. She opens the door, and inside you find the 3 mutants that you saw at the party, as well as 3 others that you haven't previously seen, sitting around a table with some papers laid out and a light on it, and they're having some sort of debate. And when the door opens, Kent maybe turns to look at you. Again, Kent is the only mutant you've seen so far who here in the Canada Mart is still wearing everything that hides whatever's going on underneath him. In fact, you see the red-tailed woman from before, who I don't believe you were there when she gave her name. Were you?
I don't think I was, no.
All right, so you don't know yet. She is a full red reptilian woman. Her whole body has reptile features, including the fact she has hair. She's less dinosaur and more snake, though. Just to put that into perspective.
It tells me what I need to know about her tongue.
Maybe. I mean, it might not be forked. It might be. You might be able to smell with it. She might not be able to. Let's put it that way. So Kent turns to look at you and says, "What are you doing here? What is he doing here, Hannah?" And Hannah quickly runs over to leaves you at the door, where you feel sort of threatened, and Hannah quickly runs over and starts whispering.
Aubrey does up his fly.
Hey.
Hannah starts whispering things to Kent, and eventually, as much as you can, through the hulking mass of rags, he decompresses a little bit. And there's a couple really, and she keeps going, yeah. And he's like, I don't know. And you were probably a pretty suave teenager. This feels a lot like a girl bringing you home to her dad, and being judged in that way. But eventually, Kent...
trying to figure out if it's better or worse that it's the morning after.
For a couple of adults, I mean, it's probably better. It makes it seem a little bit more serious.
That's awkward. Anyway.
So, Kent moves, and as he does, you feel the whole manager's office, which is suspended above the store, shudder a bit with his steps. You can see, besides being a bit of a staging point, that clearly this group of 6 mutants also live up here as a group. There are 6 beds, and various other living facilities that suggest that they are living together. Kent comes up to you and says, "All right, what do you want?"
Well, I'm afraid I live on the other side of the floppy line.
Oh, so it's our responsibility to get you home.
Not at all.
Uh-huh.
I have a bit of contraband on me. Getting across the line is troublesome at best.
Uh-huh.
Got a couple of different options.
Uh-huh.
1, you can help me get across through alternate methods.
Uh-huh.
Or 2, you could work out a deal to buy this piece off of me.
And what is this piece of contraband?
I'll pull out my glowing, this discus that looks like, it looks like someone was trying to...
A rave frisbee?
Yeah, rave frisbee.
Why would I want to rave frisbee? And why is that contraband?
It's it can be used to trigger an electromagnetic pulse. Take out cameras, robo dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The range is a little limited, but it's fairly powerful.
What would the price of that sort of thing be, huh? Do you figure?
Well, that's the thick of it. I'm not entirely sure. It's not like this is a commonly traded item. So I was thinking perhaps passage back.
Tell you what. Let's cut to the chase. You're with Sydney's group, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, I halfway suspect you guys are trying a little too hard to ingratiate yourselves, but word on the line is you guys are the ones that put up the cell net, for the most part.
This is where like I fish out my phone again and I look at it and I'm like, damn.
You've got bars. Everybody's doing their part, but you guys hit the hard ones. We've been a little disconnected here. So I begrudgingly owe you one. But that's not enough to smuggle you across the line. See, we have a way to the other side of the city. But we don't like people knowing it any more than we like people knowing about where we live.
Too late there, friend.
Hannah will be getting an earful later.
Don't give her any trouble over me.
If Elizabeth isn't already doing that, he looks over the shoulder.
Already had a mouthful.
Boom. Throat full. So here's the gist. Take you back across the line. But you all have to do something for me in return. Relatively small. Minor job.
Aubrey gets one in, and then we're fucking ingratiated to the fucking mutants. Good
It's
job,
simple,
Aubrey.
actually. There's a supply drop happening on your half of the city. And none of us can actually show up to pick it up. It's medical supplies. Something that we don't get a lot of here. And we're in desperate need of it. All we need you to do is get in line and pick up your fair share and bring it to where we will let you off when we take you back. I will escort you across the line using our method. Wait there for you to come back with your end of the deal, basically.
Easy enough. At the very least, I can promise you my fair share. I'll see if I can get my friends to get in line as well. Shouldn't be too hard to convince them.
Uh-huh. Won't be that big of a deal, really. But we have to go now. The shipment comes at noon.
Can I at least say goodbye to Hannah?
You cannot see his face because of the hooded rags, but you're sure he's squinting at you. He sort of looks back at Hannah, looks at you and says, "You've said enough for now." And actually, like, places a limb on your shoulder. And when he does, it is like someone placing a industrial compactor on your shoulder, not turned on, but like you can feel the density up against your shoulder, and he just ever so gently pushes you to leave, and you can feel his mass.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, so he takes you, and two of the others from the group sort of scamper with. And he leads you into the back, into the warehouse. And you can actually see there are some mutants that look dangerous.
with like slashing teeth and literal claws and.
I'm sure they love you deep down, right? They're nice, caring people deep down.
Mm-hmm.
Kind to their granny.
Right. So, yeah, one guy has blades that come out of his body like hair, and they seem to move around in a almost grasshopper antenna-like way. Only all of them are doing that at sort of intervals.
They call me Knives.
And the other guy, who is also very obviously mutated.
How come his name's obviously Spike?
His veins all across his body look like Tron neon affectations. You know what I mean? Like a future suit of neon lights that are all like, look at me, I'm from the space future.
They call me the dude.
Yeah, his veins just fucking glow. So he's also very obviously mutated. And they're sort of sitting around like they don't have guns, but they look like they're guards.
They're doing that Japanese gangster squat.
No, but I appreciate the image.
Smoking cigarettes. Yeah.
Kent sort of nods to them and moves his gigantic appendage into the center of the floor where you didn't notice previously, but there is a larger than normal manhole cover. It doesn't say like Canada City wastewater either. It says like septic dump number 2 or something. Like it seems like it's a part of the facilities for Canada Mart rather than Canada City. He moves his appendage over it. You don't see him. He pulls his appendage away and the manhole cover comes with. You're not sure what the interaction is. You don't see giant fingers grabbing the edges or anything. You don't hear. It just sort of comes away with his appendage that you still haven't seen.
Is he Japanese?
Kent? Not.
I was making a tentacle monster joke. Never mind. It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you also don't see writhing. Like, okay, there's no schoolgirls around, so you wouldn't know, right? You can only know with a schoolgirl around.
That's how it works.
It's like
Or in the case of Overfiend.
It's like in Jurassic Park when they put the goat out to attract the T-Rex. Only you put a schoolgirl out to be like, we're gonna see this tentacle monster come out of the woods.
But if they, I mean,
make the water.
Do the tentacles fire lasers though?
And then he's like, tentacle monster doesn't want to be fed; it wants to hunt. So, you guys drop down into what is a septic tank that has been emptied and cleaned, and then a giant hole has been ripped in the side that opens into the actual sewer.
Convenient.
At any point, have you considered texting the others that you're coming now that you have cell coverage?
Yeah, actually.
Bit late for that.
No, before we got into the sewers, I definitely would have been doing that.
So we've been getting like photos all night from Aubrey. It's just been like,
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, I guess the question is, do I have your guys' cell phone numbers?
Probably not.
Like,
I mean, actually, no. We lived on the.
Actually, if I had anybody's cell phone number, it would either be Sydney's or Dirk's.
You definitely got Dirk's because Dirk has got cards made up.
Okay.
Oh, the only reason
It's
I'd
also-
say no is because like we might have lived on the same thing, but we were very separated people before.
Well, it's also worth pointing out.
Like,
That-
I mean, like from like before the event happened.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out that many neighbors in America often share phone numbers for like, if your house is burning down, please call me. After you call 911, but please call me. You know, if you
they go to the firefighter like, if your house is burning down, I'll definitely call you. And I was like,
Well, like I actually have my next door neighbor's phone number because of reasons, and he may or may
Call
not
me
have
when your
technical
husband
support
leaves.
for his modem before. So that is in fact a thing that happens.
I have every single number in my neighborhood. Actually, it's like
So someone asks Sydney, he's like, "Hey, can I get your number?" He looks at him and goes, 911.
911 extension 2.
shades. 911. Shades. No, it's shades 911.
But
So,
only use it in emergencies.
right. And I leave it to you to say what you text and if you get a response and what happens here.
Yeah, I guess.
What laid in sewer now?
No. I think it's probably gonna be to Dirk and be like, good job getting the cell towers up. Or I guess probably not that, just because on the off chance someone can intercept these signals. So it's probably gonna be more like, good job last night. I'm on my way back. I hope to talk to the whole crew when I get there, and then give an ETA.
I mean, if you text, Dirk's gonna ring you back. You'd
He's
know
just
that.
gonna call me.
Yeah, you'd know that.
Oh
He'd just
my God.
instantly ring you.
All
They
right.
have a baby in the GIF with the tentacle monster. They get married and have a
Wait,
little
you've never
baby.
seen that video before? God
Nope.
damn. Keep up with your animations, please.
Dirk, you get that text message. What do you tell the others?
Everybody, I'm gonna do a call. Hello?
Pay attention to me.
Hello? Aubrey just texted me.
So are you just screaming in the firehouse, or are you in the weight room
Yeah.
with us?
No, probably after you guys went to go do your workout, Dirk went to have a rest, and he's now playing track and field on his NES. And can work out. Yeah. Does anyone answer?
No, I'm just sitting there. Just-
I imagine that I'm doing a spot for Aaron right now, and it's like I'm just like, okay, oh yeah, you really don't need my help at all, do you? I'm just like, that's nice, Dirk. That's real nice.
So I'm gonna call Aubrey back, and I'll put it on speakerphone.
I'm nose deep in a particularly steamy scene, so
Mm-hmm.
Like when that
what is
happens,
Aubrey's
just bring it
ringtone?
up to yeah.
What is oh god, it's probably something.
Mulatto butts.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Mulatto.
It is now.
Oh,
That's
listen,
it.
ladies. Listen,
Absolutely no. It's totally What Is Love.
the entire
Thank
song,
you,
the
Ray.
entire song.
The whole thing. I let the whole damn thing play.
I assume it actually doesn't start with "What Is Love." I think it starts with dun 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 dun.
And I look at it, I see that it's Dirk, and then I let it get to "What Is Love." Baby, don't hurt me before I answer.
I'm sure the mutants love that.
Hello, Aubrey. How was your karate practice? Intercourse. Sorry. I don't understand all these different martial arts.
Maybe I'll show you one day. This is
Ooh.
I'm on my way back.
You guys can hear this as well. I don't know what, Tiffany. Did you sort of are you lounging around sort of the chill out area where all the weights are and stuff, reading a book? Tiffany?
Sorry, I was.
She's literally actually reading a book right now.
Oh my god, it's actually, but yeah.
No,
Jane Austen bitches. Look, I'm cultivated.
cultivated.
What's steamy sections in Jane Austen's these days?
Look, I don't have a Mills and Boone to hand, unfortunately. So
With a Fabio on the front. You're like,
no, I've actually got a couple somewhere, but I've no. They're in a box, I think. So
So it sounds like Dirk is trying to figure out if you're going to respond to what he's saying.
yeah, I was like, what?
It's Aubrey on the phone.
Oh, what does he want?
Am I on speaker, Dirk?
You're on speakerphone.
Hello, everyone. Listen, I'm on my way back. I was hoping to talk to you all when I get there. I have a proposal.
Well, you're on the phone right now. You might as well say it. No. Just hold it up a little bit longer. Yeah, that'll work better.
There's a medical supply drop coming by, scheduled for noon. You know about that, right?
I mean, I look over at a calendar or a whiteboard or something, and I assume that Sydney has
It's
mapped
right
out
there.
when all the federal agents are dropping in.
So
supplies
actually,
and stuff.
the one of the five of you that is the most keeping up on drops would be Aubrey, actually, because Aubrey has the well-connected and well-informed advantage, and knowing when a drop is going to happen ahead of time, it's not actually there's not a regiment that you would have known before the event occurred, right? It's something that you have learned since when they're planning on doing, and because
You
availability.
take notes on the whiteboard.
Right, yeah. So there really might be a whiteboard, but the person who's probably keeping it is Aubrey.
Okay, that's fair.
But you can still look over at it and see that it's true facts. So, I made a deal and need your help. We need to go to that drop-off point and pick up some medical supplies. Got some friends that need them.
Who are these friends?
Probably a
Get
girl.
some medical
So
supplies.
you hear over speakerphone as you guys are walking to the manhole cover. Friends is a strong word from what sounds like gravel in a cement mixer.
Is it
I'm
Kent?
I do that
Or
thing
is it
where I
someone
put my
else?
hand over the phone. I'm like, I wasn't talking about you, Kent.
Sure you weren't.
Oh, is that Kent?
It is.
All
Hi,
right.
Kent. Hi, how are you? Hi.
I don't think you have them on speakerphone, do you?
No, definitely do
No,
not.
no. But I'm gonna say hi, Kent, anyway. And just tell him hi from me.
I won't.
Are they holding you hostage?
Not at all. That's very rude to think.
Well, I mean, it sounded like you needed us to do this in exchange for you, so I had to ask.
I'd appreciate your assistance in it, that we might get them more medical supplies. That is all.
Not like we have anything else to do, right?
What about the other 70 sets that you promised to do today?
I'll do that tomorrow's chest day.
I mean, I don't even need to work out anymore. I just take this HGH. I just take super HGH, and honestly, this is all just for show.
It is all for show. That's what the oil's for.
Whoa.
I mean, Sydney, if you
God.
want, you can help me apply my body oil.
I won't be doing that.
Do they have body oil?
All right, we'll go get your supplies, I guess.
All right, I mean, there's just
I'll
one
be
spot
there
on
as
my back I
well.
just can't quite get.
I'll meet you at the drop point.
Okay.
It'll save me some time.
No one
Well,
body oil.
And then I'll just disconnect. I don't need to say goodbye. We've made a plan.
Bye, Aubrey. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was rude.
Yeah. So, he leads you through the sewers. There are very obviously paths that are too small for him to pass through, but there's also quite a large number of paths that are too small for you to pass through. Importantly, this path that he's leading you on has work lights set up. So that you are not in the dark. And these cords run basically from Canada Mart. It maybe wouldn't be apparent if you were just wandering around out here. There are a couple points as well where you come to a intersection where things like dumpsters that would never have gotten down here on their own have been piled up to block off a path. And have been stacked up in like chain link fences, and just it's all very jury rigged and haphazard, but there are very clearly parts that they've blocked off. It also smells down here because it's a sewer.
Obviously.
It's still functioning sewer. I need you to make a perception check.
Okay.
You see poop. You can avoid said poop.
Where is it? There it is. Bam. 20.
All right, that is just barely a success. As you are passing through the sewers, you first of all come to an unlit section, and Kent motions to you to be quiet. He doesn't have a finger, or he just sort of appendages in a way that
indicates to be quiet.
Well, he maybe forgets that he, or at least doesn't show that he has a finger to do that, because he does that motion. It's very communicatable. So as you're passing through this, he asks you to be quiet. The two guys who came with him are very quiet as well. And just about when you're halfway through this unlit part, just for a second, you see light in a line right next to you as you pass by. And you keep going. And it's a little while.
Along the line?
Like it's all around the tube of the sewer, at a very slight angle. You pass through about as far as you entered into this dark, silent zone, and come out the other side, and now the sewers are unlit entirely. There's no setup by the mutants. But one of the smaller ones, who happens to have very unfortunately bulbous skin, and a green complexion.
At least it's not all eyeballs.
It's not eyeballs, no. It's just, he looks, there's no other way to say it. He looks tumory. Unfortunately, picklish. He pulls out a map and is talking with the other one. And they start, yeah, okay. Eventually, Kent brings you to not only a manhole cover where you guys can exit, but one that has a ladder. Do you need any help getting the manhole cover off?
Hold on, let me look at my character sheet. Yes.
All right.
I think so.
Bentley, you're on. And the pickly-looking fellow climbs up the ladder before you, and he doesn't look like he's got super strength or anything. He just looks like before things happened, he was a fit individual, and grown adult male. He pushes up on the manhole cover. It gives ever so slightly, and he just slides it a little bit to the side. Then he climbs back down and says, "You can do the rest of the way. We'll be waiting right here. The supplies will fit in the manhole cover. Just drop them. Call. Make sure we're still here in case something happened, But we'll be here to catch them."
All right.
When you get above ground, you are... I don't know if you specified to Kent where you live.
No, I don't think I would have.
No, you're in the neighborhood of the fire station, but you're a few blocks over.
Okay.
And you have successfully circumvented the floppy barricade in the middle of the city.
How about we take a break right now? do believe we're gonna steal some medical supplies now, yeah?
No, actually, we're just going to be given them.
Fucking fine.
I mean, do you have to steal them from like? Do you have a need to steal? I can.
I don't
can
have an
create
impulse.
Orphanage that has a bunch of medical supplies that you could burn to the ground.
I just want to do something exciting.
All right. You're gonna have to stand in a line instead. And for our British players, this is gonna be a very exciting episode.
This is a queue.
Queue simulator. I brought my thermos. It's okay.
Anyway, Aubrey, you make it back, I assume. Go ahead. Convince the others to help.
I mean, we already said we would, so we don't.
Yeah,
need
they're gonna meet me at the queue line.
All right, so I guess we won't roleplay that then. That's fine. Everybody agreed.
We just did. We had a phone call. It was fine.
I remember that. I was there.
We did that. Yeah.
Totally there.
Everybody was totally fine with it. No, they weren't like, let's talk about this later.
In person, like, start slapping people, making out. Let's do an oral check. So you guys are all gonna.
There's an oral check on his hand.
You're all gonna meet there then. So importantly,
that's the oral check of the hand, yeah.
The UNSSTF has made several previous government buildings sort of drop points. They are locations within the city that, other than the science facility that intersects the entire city, are under active and persistent control and protection. And that is where convoys of supplies go to drop off supplies. There is one very close to your firehouse. It's maybe 5 blocks over. And that's where this medical drop is happening.
Okay.
This one used to be a police station. There is already people gathering who've heard about it. It's probably, you've still got like an hour or so when you guys show up.
Is there any obviously mutated people in this line?
No.
Okay. Then we wait.
The entire line is being watched by VDV cameras. There are more than one. There's more than one line that go out, so they all end up about even. There's about 4 lines, and you guys get in line. Are you trying to split up or anything like that, like you previously did?
I think so. Probably in kind of the same. Well, other than the fact that Aubrey's coming in from a totally different direction, he probably wouldn't He'd give like an up nod to the rest of them, but
I mean, as soon as I see Aubrey, I'm going to run up and let's just start talking at him.
Tiffany's just going to sort of go to the end of the nearest queue and start reading. Also brought a book.
She is a book.
Right?
I mean,
you can literally do that.
Not all paper is books, Dirk. That's extremely racist.
Oh my god! You paperist, you.
Right now.
Ugh, what am I? Origami paper? I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of a way to turn dimension into an ist, so that
Euclidean.
Euclideanist. Oh, that's really good.
Nice. Word porn.
Yeah, all right. So we've just created here at Die Party the word for when you're racist against your paper. I'm proud of us.
No.
About a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes before the shipment is supposed to arrive, a helicopter flies through the nearby neighborhood, and on loudspeakers, this is the UNSSTF. We will have a medical supply drop at Drop Station 4 in 20 minutes. Please, no pushing or shoving. The drop is being watched and protected. Everyone will get their fair share. And those sorts of messages and platitudes play on repeat as the helicopter continues to sort of circle in the neighborhood. For the uninformed, basically. And quite a few more people who look like the type of people who are out of the loop show up and file into line behind you guys.
Some guy's like, "Hey, what's this line for? It looks cool."
I just like standing in lines.
I'm British.
I could stand in line for hours. It's great. We trained for this.
Expats from miles around are like, I heard there was a queue, chap. Queue.
I brought a thermos of tea and some ginger snaps.
I brought some Arnott's biscuits.
No, that's very Australian. We don't have Arnott's. So
They don't have Arnott's in...
They have Tim Tam.
We do.
Yeah, but like you'd be hard pushed to find a fucking Tim Tam around here.
Yeah, this isn't the queue for the prison line. So the double blink from Dave there is great. At noon, you guys can hear in the distance approaching the large armored personnel carriers driving through the city, approaching supply drop station number 4. They pull up, and there's quite a lot of the crowd. They're like, "Woo! Yeah!" In that sort of like, "Hey, the band is here. They've just arrived. Only it's supplies needed to survive in a horrific, scarred city."
Fucking Bono gets out and he's like, "I'm here to help."
Is there a bunch of people up front with like UNSTF rocks my world shirts?
Woo! UNSTF, show us your tits.
Floppies, oh my god!
The 3 trucks all fit in the what used to be the parking lot for the police station. They all pull up into there, and the parking lot just happens to be surrounded on all sides by buildings, except for facing the street. There's these very tall buildings where this very small police station just sort of fits in between. And you can see on like the fire escapes, they have soldiers that are looking around and watching these trucks. And the trucks start unloading. Like first, the nearest trucks starts unloading, and the line starts to move. People in the front of the line are walking away with these big white plastic containers that have the cross, the medical cross, painted on them. They're basically just like GTFOing, and quite a lot of them are not doing a very good job, but trying to hide their what the thing is with their overcoat. Like, oh, this isn't super valuable supplies that I'm trying to get back to my home. Who's the furthest up in line?
Probably me.
Sydney. When you approach, you are interrogated by the person handing you out the medical supplies. They ask, first of all, "Sir, are you aware that you may have been affected by the event?
Yes.
Have you noticed any physical, mental changes since the event? Different capabilities, different symptomology, anything?"
Is this the sort of thing where they take like an ID or a finger stamp before they do this? Like, what is going on? Okay.
They're just interrogating you.
No.
All right, sir. What are you using these? What do you need these supplies for?
Existing.
Sir, can you confirm that you have an urgent need for these medical supplies? You or someone you know?
I can confirm, and in fact, I often use these supplies to help out those who can't come here.
All right, sir. Here you go.
I mean, if it helps, I'm also wearing my firefighter skivvies because it's pretty much the only clothes that I have. So
it doesn't look like it changes his opinion.
Yeah.
But he does say, like, you're saying that yes, me or someone I know has an urgent need for these supplies was enough. He basically checks a box on a piece of paper in front of him, turns around, a soldier hands him the crate. He turns around with it and hands it to you.
Okay. How heavy is it?
It's actually not super heavy. It's quite large. It's larger than a PC tower, like a standard desktop tower. It's thicker and a little bit larger dimensions.
Can I make a treatment roll to see if I can guess what's in this thing?
I mean, sure.
A mini ATX tower, or
No, like a full desktop tower. It's bigger than that.
13.
And you actually aren't sure what would be in this. You've seen them before, but you've seen them in a post-used state. So you know, for example, that it has gauze, it has cotton balls, because those are the sorts of things that last the longest and stick around. But you've never seen you haven't had a need to see a fully stocked.
Okay. Question: do I feel like I need this to be as big as it is? Or is it like one of those things where it's like it's intentionally large so that people can see that effort and aid has been given out?
No, it definitely, like, there's nothing shaking around in there.
Okay.
And it weighs as much as a fully loaded backpack filled with textbooks, but you would expect something as large as it to weigh slightly more.
Sure.
Your best guess is it weighs less than it looks like it would, because a lot of it is gauze, bandages, cotton balls, like things that are themselves, even though they take up space,
Fair
not
enough.
very heavy.
That's all I needed to know. And I guess I'll just go wait somewhere.
All right. Are you waiting nearby, or are you like GTFOing?
No, I'll wait nearby.
Okay, you wait nearby. Who believes they are the next furthest up in line?
Aaron.
Aaron, you are the next furthest up in line. You get the exact same spiel. Sir, are you aware that you have been affected by the event?
Yes.
Have you experienced any physical or mental changes since the event? Any symptoms, changes in capabilities, mentality, emotional states, anything at all?
Nope.
All right. Can you confirm that you or someone you know has urgent need of these supplies?
Yes.
All right. He just checks off, other questions are asked. He turns around, grabs the box, turns back around.
Are you free this Friday for a can of meatballs over candlelight? How do you feel about signing my exposed breasts? I'm a big fan of yours.
Now, when you get your medical supplies, where do you go?
I just started heading back to the station, just carrying like this box, just like up at my chest, just like this, just like.
All right, you're heading back to the fire station. Sydney, you see Aaron leave.
I'll still wait.
Okay. Who believes they are the next furthest up in line?
Me.
Tiffany. You get to the front of the line. They do the exact same spiel. Ma'am, are you aware that you've been affected by the event?
Yes.
Have you noticed any physical or mental changes since the event? Any symptoms you can't explain? Changes in capability, emotional state?
No.
All right. Can you confirm that you or someone you know has urgent need of these supplies?
Yes, I can.
All right. Turns around, grabs a box. I would like perception checks from everybody, except for the Spartan.
Man, for a guy that has
Garbage.
extreme perception, I am
Hey, there's
fucking
something.
pretty bad at perception.
Yo, Dirk.
Dirk, you notice that they've gotten to the bottom of the first of the 3 trucks that drove in, and they open up the second truck. You don't notice anything else.
So when they open up the second truck, is there like another queue, like in the supermarket? You just go to the next queue?
No, so it's you're not actually being handed supplies from the truck. The truck's pulled up next to the station that they maintain and have been carting supplies into the station that are then filtered over to this intentional kiosk and line system that they've set up here.
So I'll lean over to Aubrey.
They're running out quite fast.
You're muted, Kelsa.
It's to be expected, really.
You don't Nobody notices anything else. But Tiffany, just when you're being handed your supplies, the man who's handing you the supplies goes to his ear, like this, like huh? And you see people filing out behind him, like running out. Those of you in the queue might see a couple soldiers running over towards the trucks. And it's at this point that you do see smoke is billowing off of the roofs next to the trucks. Thick smoke too, not like fire. Smoke like colored
Like somebody
smoke.
with a mutant smoke, sort of, or like more of a smoke canister kind of thing.
Like I don't know if any of you have ever for 4th of July, obviously not our Brits, but I don't know what celebrations you guys do fireworks for.
We bonfire night.
Bonfire night. Okay, I don't know if for bonfire night you've ever had, there's these little colored balls that you can light, and then they just make smoke of that color in a huge radius, and it's very thick and colored. That's what's happening on the roofs surrounding the parking lot where the trucks are. And the smoke is billowing into that parking lot, and all of the UNSFT personnel are rushing over to the trucks. You've literally been denied your package in the process of being handed it because this guy has like turned back around and is like shouting like, "What's going on? We have."
Excuse me, sir.
He does not hear you. Although
Can I tap him on the back and just be like, excuse me?
you could reach his back, you could also
Yeah.
you could also get over this counter and just grab one.
I'm just going to tap his back and be like, excuse me.
He like just whips around, he's like, 1 minute, ma'am, and then whips back around to whoever he's talking to on the radio. Anybody seeing any of this? Do you have any response?
Yeah, can I try and identify this, like maybe the source of the smoke?
It's definitely coming from the roofs. The 3 roofs that... So there's a police roof that's very low. It's only like a 3-story building.
I have an expertise in firefighting. Would I be able to identify that even further than just like...
I can tell you right now that this is not smoke from fire.
Okay, cool.
The other 2 buildings that wall off this parking lot are about 7 stories tall. So they're much taller than the police building. But all 3 roofs have this thick colored smoke, and one roof is pink and one's blue and another's green. And this smoke is just billowing off of these roofs into that area. Any thoughts, actions? Anybody get out of line? Fuzzy, do you steal some medical supplies while their backs are turned?
Am I
No.
able to sort of... I want to try and force my way into joining the soldiers.
Are you leaving behind your medical box?
Yes.
All right.
Or maybe I sort of go up there and hand it to Tiffany.
I'll be like, this is heavy. Oh,
Thank you, stranger.
And then you try and head into the smoke.
Does
Yeah.
anyone in the queue sort of leave as well to go investigate the smoke?
There are a lot of people like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And like they're leaning over the
My place
dividers that sort of make up 4 lines, and
So I'm gonna like push him away from the queue. Excuse me, sorry, can I? Excuse me.
you there's no resistance offered as you sort of shuffle your way to the front because everybody is like, "What the hell is going on?" And
shit going down.
then Sydney, you've handed off your package to Tiffany. You're saying you're trying to make your way to the parking lot now?
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's smoke, I gotta go there. That's how we roll.
There are soldiers who are at the edge of what's happening, and they're like, "Get back in line."
I'm just like, I'm a EMT firefighter. I can help.
Sir, you do not need your assistance. You are a civilian. This is a military matter.
Actually, I am not a civilian. I am a government employee.
That still makes you a civilian. You hear automatic weapons fire from inside the smoke. It's a quick little 3-round burst, and every soldier like snaps to it. They're like going to their ears. They're like, visual. Do we have a visual report? What's going on?
At this point, I'm going to take my medical bag and you get the fuck out.
All right. So the one that Sydney handed you?
Yeah, I'm just going to, well, my job here done.
All right, so you start biz bouncing. Aubrey, you're way back in the line. You're nowhere near the front. Dirk has pushed his way to the front.
Wait, Dirk pushed his way to the front?
Dirk pushed his way to the front while there was a distraction.
Dirk's mission was to queue and get supplies. As
Okay,
far as he's like on top of his game right now.
I'm tailing right behind Dirk.
So if these soldiers ever go in to like go to combat, I'll just follow them.
The ones here are not. They seem to be trying to figure out what's happening. Dirk and Aubrey and Tiffany and Sydney, as you guys are pushing your way to the front of the line or trying to get into this colored smoke, in the 4 lines of people that are still gathered, there are flashes of light. And then loud pops, and everybody scatters and starts screaming. The barricades that separate the 4 lines fall over, and people start pouring out into the streets in all directions. None of you are very nearby, but they looked like they were maybe
Flashbangs?
lighter than a flashbang, but yeah, basically like smaller flashbangs. The people in the exact radius are still sitting there like mopping, mop, rolling around on the ground. When the lines break and everybody scatters everywhere, the soldiers degrade into chaos. They start coming back out of where they were heading over to the trucks, and running, trying to stop people and maybe question them or see if they need help. The soldiers are done talking to you, Sydney, and colored smoke starts billowing out of where the line used to be as well. Like the whole street is now sort of descending into chaos.
In the confusion, I'm going to try and swipe some of these medical kits boxes.
So you're going to like hop over the counter and start
Disappearing things.
All right. Yeah, no problem. You go over the counter. There's only you can fit everything that's here. There's only 10 left from the first truck that were going to be handed out while they were opening the second truck.
Okay. I'll try and get all of those, yeah.
Well, as long as you have the time,
oh, gotcha.
You will be able to do all of these because you have enough space to do all of these.
Well, I mean, in the confusion.
Right. So basically, as this progresses, I'm going to ask you, is Dirk still doing this? Because,
Okay.
Is this the point when he runs away or does something
you just
else?
pick up the entire truck, put it in you, right? And then it'll take less time.
I'm not going to do that. People wouldn't know.
I have a question. Would I have heard these bangs and gunshots? Okay.
You heard the gunshots.
Yeah. All right. So
Back from the supply depot that you walked away from.
So I'm like maybe a block and a half away or so. And so I'm going to look at my box.
You also walked this far, so you could run back faster.
Yeah. Box. Back. Box. Drop the box and run.
All right, in the middle of the street. Okay. Important question. Since it would make you go faster, do you Hulk out?
No, just no more run.
All right. No hulking from Aaron Wright.
Aubrey's keeping an eye out while Dirk is pilfering supplies.
Specifically looking around?
Yeah.
You can give me another perception check.
Are you helping?
No, she's on watch.
I'm on watch. I'm making sure that no one is going to just snipe you for stealing shit. God damn it! I'll flip this fucking table.
What's going on? What's wrong?
I rolled a 10.
It's pretty smoky
Okay.
around.
Second time.
It's just smoke. You do hear what sounds like, you know that movie sound effect whenever they have like a cable snapping, right? Like I presume that's not actually what it sounds like when a cable snaps in the real world.
No, it sounds pretty much like that.
It's pretty much like that.
Yeah.
You hear the sound of cable snapping. You hear like and you also hear like metal creaking. And And
We're inside of the police station right now, right?
so the front of the police station has been converted into, just like previously, a sort of desk that you walk up, speak to someone, and then you get handed stuff. So you're not inside. This is actually the exterior of the building that's been turned into this.
It's a parking lot.
Yeah, basically. So
Okay, I guess my question was like, what are the chances the building is going to come down around our heads?
that doesn't sound like that. You hear metal, and this building is brick.
Okay.
So you're not sure what the metal is that's creaking. But the 3 buildings that are involved here are all brick.
Can I make a perception check, please?
Yeah, if you're also looking around.
Well, this is more like hearing than looking.
All right. So
'Cause
you're not looking, you're hearing?
Because smoke everywhere,
Okay.
right? How's a 29 sound to you?
Crushed it.
It's about fucking time I fucking pulled out a good perception check.
So Sydney, you don't hear anything that Aubrey doesn't, but you do see exactly what's happening.
Great. What do my firefighter eyes see?
Your elf eyes see. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. As I described, on the fire escapes of these 2 adjoining buildings that overlook the parking lot, there were UNSSTF soldiers watching. And you see a line streak through the smoke. You hear the sound of cables snapping, and you see the one guy on the one fire escape cut in half.
So as I do that thing that all superhero TV movies do, where they don't actually look away, but they sort of lean over their shoulder to talk back at the person that they. And I sort of say, it's like, Dirk, you might want to hurry up and making sure that those supplies are secure.
More automatic weapons fire from the guy on the other fire escape. Streak through the smoke. Sound of a cable snapping. Cut in half. And the fire escape that he's on lurches and is rent from the wall. Bricks go flying.
So just because somehow I have missed it, Kelso.
You're not seeing any of this. You're hearing all of
I'm
those
not.
sounds.
But just to be clear, as a player, since I'm not seeing it, are those guys with automatic weapons, were those soldiers or were those insurgents?
No, they were soldiers.
Okay.
They were soldiers that were placed on the fire
That
escape
was-
to Overwatch, and they're being taken out, basically.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I thought, but for some reason I was confused for a second.
If Sydney is telling me to hurry up, I will use extra effort to get as many as I can as quickly as possible and GTFO.
All right. Now, a reminder to our players that we have instated hero points. Will you be using a hero point to negate the effect of fatigued, which halves your movement speed?
Yes, I will.
So since you're spending a hero point to do this, not only do you very quickly finish gathering the rest of the medical supplies, you find 5 more that were on a table that you hadn't noticed previously in the back.
So that's 15.
You have pocket dimensioned 15 medical supplies.
Fucking sweet.
Dave, as Sydney, that standing perception check allows you to continue to see everything that's going on.
Sure.
It sounds like Dirk is wrapping up behind you. Are you sticking around, though?
Just
what's
real
the plan?
quickly, with this perception check, do I notice, if the soldiers are in the smoke, do I notice any adverse effects that they're experiencing?
No, I mean, you're in the smoke. You're all in the smoke, necessarily. The smoke is everywhere now. You're not feeling any adverse effects.
Okay.
It's literally just blocking your
Great,
sight.
okay. So, yes, I would be. I'm going to be making sure that... I want to know, first and foremost, their intent. Or, obviously they're here for the packages, but, I don't... there's a lot to be gained by sticking around than there is to be moving away, so...
You just want to see what's going on.
Yes.
So this is the point when the engines start on the trucks that have been shipped in here.
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that the soldiers are starting to like hop on board the trucks, and like they're gonna just GTFO. And you hear the sound of the engine revving up, and then it tries to drive away, and some sort of pneumatic sound, ka-chunk, and the whole truck goes, where this side's the front, and like the headlights flicker, and you hear the sound of rubber on the road as the wheels spin without gaining purchase, and the car sort of shifts there, and all of the soldiers go, "What the fuck's going on? We got to get out of here." The other car tries to take off. The exact same thing happens.
How far away is this car from me?
50 feet.
Could I make it there and do something?
You could, but what is your intention? It's basically a truck with a bunch of armed soldiers on it.
Well,
who are
if
being
soldiers
attacked.
are getting hurt, then yeah, I'm gonna go help the soldiers.
Well, the soldiers on the trucks haven't been hurt yet.
Well, I mean,
the soldiers
people
are-
have been cut in half, so yes, they're attacking the soldiers. I'm gonna.
My question isn't like specifically. You can move there in a couple moves, but what is your intention once you get there?
Well, so the okay, bigger idea scope here is
Yeah.
if
the
they
overall.
stop, if they find this area to be too, dangerous, they're gonna stop the supply drops.
Right. So you want to try and
Make sure
help.
that they, understand that it's not as dangerous as it would be. This is that there's people here that want to help the government, basically. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So my intention here is to go there and make sure that they can get away, if at all possible.
Right. All right. So you can start moving towards the truck.
So maybe I'm just is Aaron back at this point?
Aaron, you're rounding a corner where you see basically the street filled with smoke. You've heard more automatic weapons fire. You also hear rubber burning on the road as these trucks go nowhere.
Okay, do I
You don't see any of it though.
Okay, do I see people running from the smoke?
Lots of people.
Lots
Lots
of
of the
people
people
running.
from the line going, "Wah, my leg," etc.
So imagine, if I'm standing there, I'm, doing one of those things where I'm just like, oh, damn it, and then I just, sort of sprint off to where whatever the truck is, or whatever, against my better nature, whatever. I'm gonna do this for the sake of the
I'm
people.
running towards the sound of danger.
All right, both of you are running towards the sound of danger. Aubrey, you see Sydney disappear further into the smoke than you can see. Muted.
But Dirk, thank you. But Dirk has already collected all those supplies by this point because of the extra
Dirk
effort.
is looking like he's literally just walking out now, over the counter again. Presumably all of the supplies are in his pocket dimension.
Yeah, I'll turn to him then. Dirk, Sydney just disappeared into the smoke.
Run away!
All right, let's get out of here.
Dirk runs in the opposite direction.
It runs away from danger.
Yeah, we want to get these supplies back.
I'm
So,
cutting the one
mission-
I've got.
mission
Just look.
accomplished.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, Tiffany, come on.
Tiffany's already she's halfway down the street. She's just like, come on, hurry up.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I probably didn't see the Spartan come in and run towards the danger, right? Because I was scooping up all this crap.
No, he would have been cut off by the smoke. You guys sort of ended up
I
on
don't
opposite
think
sides.
any of us
Right.
saw the Spartan coming in.
Yeah, no, you don't know that he's going. You do all know.
Did we hear the war
Well,
cry of
I
"Fetch the
mean-
tables"?
There might have been a moment where we're like,
I'm gonna go elbow deep on these.
Sydney's on his own. Let's get back. Let's get back to base.
City's on his own. Let's fuck off and leave him.
As we're running away, I'm going to pull out the Mr. T walkie-talkie.
In the chaos that ensues, I doubt that the Mr. T walkie-talkie will be able to.
So I'm going to push the button, so it goes, ksh, and then I'm just going to hammer the, you have on the kids ones, you have a little button that just
Morse
goes.
code button. Beep, 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 beep.
But Dirk doesn't quite understand how Morse code works, so
it's just a bunch of random dotting.
Yeah, I'm actually doing it in binary.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna take forever, man.
You're converting binary to Morse code. Okay.
No. He's literally just beeping in Morse code.
L P. So, yeah, Sydney, who can see what's happening. Actually, just for shits and giggles, Aaron, if you make a perception check now that you are in the smoke, you can perhaps also have the ability to see what's going on.
Sure. I haven't had to make one of these before. Where is it?
It's in the skill somewhere. Yeah. Hey.
No, you don't actually see anything.
Wait, do crits not apply on skill checks?
I don't think so.
They don't apply on skill checks, especially one that has a negative modifier.
You have a -2 on it. How the fuck?
He's not very aware of things.
Okay.
I don't pay attention.
Yeah.
He only pays attention to himself.
Them guns, man. Sweet guns.
Can you blame me?
Actually, no. You haven't removed your miscellaneous modifiers from when you were hulked out. So your strength is way higher than it should be, but also your awareness and presence are lower than they should be. That said, you still would not have passed this check.
Yeah. I just
So you hear it and everything. You get some vague shapes in the smoke. You see something whoosh through the smoke. Sydney, with your 29, you see very specifically the exact same thing that took out those other guards. Flies through the smoke, hits the truck, the back of the truck, and the truck lurches for a second. You hear the sound of cable coiling. Sorry. The cable coils around the back of the truck. You hear the sound of metal on metal, and then ka-chunk as the back of the truck falls off the truck. This is an armored personnel carrier.
Like it was sliced like somehow and then it fell off? Or...
Yeah, like the back just falls off like a can of tuna.
Okay.
And all the soldiers are like, what the fuck? And they start firing like back into the smoke, but they're not hitting anything.
Sure.
You're closer to the truck now yourself.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're just heading further into the smoke, even though you can't see anything.
No, I'm just trying to like factor in people. I see people running past. I'm gonna try to like go towards the center of it.
All right. So you head to the center of the smoke. Sydney, you actually make it up to the truck. And at this distance, a soldier sees you and levels the rifle at you. And he says, "Halt!"
Can I see what's doing the cabling?
No. You've only seen the distortion in the smoke.
Yeah, and it's like... Listen, I'm here to get you... I'm here to help. Let me help. Don't be weird about this.
You cannot help. You're a civilian. Get out of here before you get hurt.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about you guys not coming back here with supplies.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'm worried that you're the one doing this. So back the fuck up before I shoot you.
I'll raise my hand, but I'm not gonna go back.
All right. Why don't you make a persuasion check?
Okay. 12, not good enough.
No, but his demeanor doesn't change. You're sort of you're in the standoff. You're like, "Whoa, buddy, I'm not here to hurt you."
Yeah.
Also, I'm not listening to your order to back off. And he's got the gun levied at you, and you hear more cabling, and the 4 guys on the back of the truck that this truck that has been the one that's cut open, are pulled away from the truck violently, and they disappear into the smoke. Like they're on either side of the truck, and there's 6 soldiers 3 on each side, sort of on the handrails on the side.
Yeah.
And the 4 in the back, each disappear into the smoke away from the truck perfectly, into opposite directions.
All right. Can I see where the cabling coming from, or do I have to make another check?
You just see where they disappear to.
Okay. And I just sort of look in that direction. I'm just like, I turn back at the guy and I put my hands down. Then I sort of move. I start running over to that, I guess.
So they all disappeared into 4 different directions. They were all pulled away from the truck. So it's probably wasn't that they were being pulled somewhere, but that they were pulled away from the back of the truck, basically.
All right, then I'll just wait here. I mean, eventually something's going to happen that I can do something. So.
Well, something might also be this guy shooting you. So
I'm willing to take that. I need information, man.
Spartan, you get close enough that you see the other truck, because you're coming from the other direction. The truck is spinning its wheels, unable to move. It seems to be sort of jostling on a pivot slightly. Its headlights back and forth into the smoke in front of you. And just like the other truck, there are 6 soldiers on it, 3 on each side, sort of on the exterior. One of them is banging on a window like, let's get the fuck out of here. What's the holdup? And then somebody inside, you can't hear them, but they're like...
So why aren't the trucks moving exactly? Are they being pinned?
Yeah, I don't know. Can't see anything in particular.
I'm next to a truck, so...
You are next to it. If you wanted to inspect the truck to see why it's not moving, that's a roll you could make.
Sure, I guess. Investigation?
Yeah.
Or insight?
Investigation's more appropriate.
I mean, you said that specifically for, like, finding clues and stuff, right? So...
Yeah, clue to why the truck isn't moving. The mystery of the motionless truck. You are certain that, just like the other truck, it's pivoting on a focal point that is, like, in the front center, but you don't see, like, an obvious spike or something through the car. It just can't move from that point. So something might be holding it in place, but you're not sure what.
Okay.
The Spartan, do you do anything with the scene that I've just described to you?
Yeah, so I see the truck stuck, and I'm assuming no one has approached me yet.
They haven't noticed you coming in from the smoke. But because the guy on your side that would notice you, like Dave, is pounding on the passenger side window of this truck, being like, why the fuck aren't we going? He's a lot more disheveled than the guy who's got in a gun standoff with Sydney.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep trying to run along and see if I can see the back of the truck. Maybe, in my mind, I think, yeah, there's just a big dude holding the truck.
Oh, you're just thinking, like, there's a dude back there holding the truck. How do I want to do this? Yeah, okay. I need you to make a dodge check.
All right.
The Spartan.
And...
So, oof. Okay.
You are
see
killed.
You see a whoosh through the smoke. The sound of cabling coiling around this truck. Metal on metal, shink, the back of the truck falls off. The soldiers start panicking. Then you feel something coil around your midsection.
Yeah.
And with the 4 soldiers on this truck, you are thrown to the wall next to the parking lot. You feel your back slam into the brick. The 2 soldiers that were pulled in this direction with you are knocked unconscious by the hitting the wall. You need to make a toughness check.
All right.
Does his wrestler training come into this?
Wait, what's... No...
That's right.
Wait, all right, that's right, yeah.
Right, exactly. You roll a 13. You have a single injury. You have -1 going forward for the rest of this conflict. You're not knocked unconscious, obviously. You just sort of hit the brick wall. It hurts a little bit, but you're a tougher guy because you're a superhero. You are still coiled around the midsection by something. It's hard to discern what. Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
This guy isn't persuaded that you're on his side. Do you do anything else? Do you do anything different? What is your approach to the situation at this moment?
As far as I can tell, you guys need all the help you can get right now.
He looks over his shoulder, looks back at you, and he's like, fuck, man. You're right, but I can't trust you. You are a civilian. You are a potential hostile.
Let me prove that to you.
I need you to back off.
Oh, come on. Don't do this.
Sir, these are my orders. This is standard operating procedure. I don't know what you want from me. I can't just trust some guy who comes up to me when my squad's under attack.
Look, I'm an EMT. If there's anyone hurt, I can help.
Sir, we have medics on staff.
I look around. Is there anyone hurt near me?
So the soldiers got pulled away.
Yeah.
You haven't gone to go see where they went, because there was 4 ones. You could have gone to any of them, but you sort of wanted to go to a focal point, but you weren't aware of one in particular.
Okay. Yeah, I just... Yeah, maybe I take a step closer. Like, you know, they do.
Getting
like,
shot.
Yeah.
I'll let you make a persuasion check
Okay.
as you take a step closer for how you're carrying yourself.
18.
He goes to shoot you, like you can see it, and then he hesitates and puts the gun back down. And he's about to say something, and you hear coil through the air. And this dude's cut in half. Blood sprays all over the passenger side window in front of you on this truck. And I need you to make a dodge check.
Wow, I phoned that one in. Would I roll on that roll? A 5? Yeah.
I need you to make a toughness check.
Please resist being ripped in half.
13.
All right.
I have division resistances.
So, for no reason in particular, just reminding you that hero points can be used to remake checks.
Is this would you say this is a hazard, good sir?
No, this is not an environmental hazard. This is someone attacking you with an attack.
Okay.
You've already failed to avoid it, and this is your toughness check to resist the damage.
Sure, I guess I'll use the hero
I
point.
mean, you don't... I'm gonna be honest. 13's like, what's your modifier? What did you actually roll there? Your modifier is +3, so you rolled 10. You got literally the average dice result on that check. You could bring it up with a reroll, but you could also bring it down. And I'm not suggesting that this is instantly going to kill you. It's not. I'm just reminding you that there's an option to reroll.
No, I won't reroll. I'll keep it.
All right, keep it.
I feel like it will be very useful to keep the hero point. So.
All right, that's perfectly fine. Your check result was 13. His damage bonus is
1,000,000.
All right. Okay. You fail that toughness check by 3 degrees.
Fucking really?
What was the other toughness check that we had?
He just
13.
had a toughness check for being slammed into a wall.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you fail by 3 degrees. You are staggered and have a -1 circumstance penalty for further checks. So put -1 for an injury down. The staggered condition. Just quickly go over to that. That I have it bookmarked. There it is. A staggered character is dazed and hindered. God, this is so poorly organized. Dazed. Then I have to go back up. A dazed character is limited to free actions and a single standard action per turn. So you can't use a move action. You typically have a free action, a move action, and a standard action, right? You've lost your move action, but you can use your standard action to move.
How long does the days last for?
You
The
last
days.
until you make recovery, which you can use your hero point to recover from one of these conditions.
Okay.
And you also move at half normal speed because of hindered.
Sure.
So this will also dissipate slowly over time.
Also, I took an injury. Does my power activate?
Yes, it does.
Sweet.
So you don't even see it. You see this guy get cut in half, and then like a bystander when like a suspension bridge is falling down or something, the wires all like whip around, and you get caught right in the stomach. You feel strongly that this probably would have cut you in half, except for the moment it does, blood starts seeping out of your wound and forms a like chrysalis thing over your midsection and your limbs, and you're thrown to the ground instead of being severed in half. The blood is so hard and rigid that that's basically why you're hindered, and it's exploded out like a pop can that froze and then burst and then like immediately froze into ice. Right, like it looks like it just burst out of you and immediately solidified in response to the attack. If that dude was still alive, he probably would now be shooting you because you clearly have magic powers. Turn order moves over to Aaron Wright.
Is it turn order?
We didn't do initiative because you guys literally walked into the situation at different times.
Sure.
So, like, Sydney, you go first because you walked into the situation.
That's fine.
And Aaron, you came later, so you go second, basically. So, Aaron, you're held at the midsection to this wall by something. The two soldiers next to you who've also been pulled into the wall are unconscious. You hear something happening to the trucks, but you can't see it.
Okay. Yeah, look at left, right, and can I see what's holding me?
You can see that your shirt is indented in ways that look like there's string around you, but you cannot actually make out what it is.
Okay. I'm gonna go like when you have a spider web on you, I'm gonna go like this. Do I feel anything?
So, like around, you mean?
Yeah. So like when you walk into a spider web, like
No, you don't feel anything except for on your midsection. And it's holding you very uncomfortably to this wall because your body weight isn't balanced on your midsection at all.
So I'm going to like, you really had to do that, didn't you? You pissed me off. You grab my inhaler, and I'm gonna try to Hulk out.
All right.
You didn't accidentally pick up one of Dirk's.
It actually doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like a placebo or something, yeah.
So what I need you to do is I need you to make an athletics check
I can
as
breathe a
your
bit better now,
stats
though.
change.
It's nice.
Oh, an athletics check, you said?
As your stats change, so you use your modified stats for this athletics check.
Alright. Let me just remember what these were.
It was two, right?
Bonus 2.
It was 2 up and 2 down, if I remember correctly.
No, it's 8 strength up, 8 stamina up, fighting up by 3, and awareness and presence down by 2.
Wow, that's 8 strength up. Fucking what?
Yep.
Lift the entire planet around you.
All right.
11 strength is
athletics.
great, but it's not lift the entire planet up around you, unfortunately. All right, now you can make an Whoa,
Wow.
that is a critical failure. I need you to make a toughness check.
Oop.
I love that he got a 14 on a failure.
Yeah.
So, gosh. So basically, here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really leverage yourself against what's holding you. You just allow your mass to expand to try and break it. And this stuff is tougher than that. So the result of that is your mass expands and then eats into this coiled wire that's around you. So you also fail a damage check by 3 degrees. You are also staggered. You also have a further -1 going forward to toughness checks.
Good for all those medical supplies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Usually works with Hulk Hogan's t-shirt.
The wire still snaps, but it does so much later than it should. And your midsection is basically just sliced to hell. Almost as deep as the muscle on the abdomen. So you are just gushing blood down your hulking figure. And you've also now have the emotions of a teenager, so you're probably not super stoked about it. Or you're super into it because, man, blood, when I cut myself, so that's how I feel it. Now, anyway, so you are freed from your bonds, but you are staggered, which means you are also dazed and hindered. Sydney, your perception check still stands. You can still see through this smoke.
Sweet.
You see a much slower something descend through the smoke and land silently next to the 2 trucks.
All right. What is the blood doing?
It's literally just exploded out of you and crystallized, which is why you have so much trouble moving right now.
All right. Can I try and do something to break it off or something?
Yeah, actually. But you what are you going to try and do?
If I touch it, what does it do? Does it become blood, or is it just still hard?
It does nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to. I'll just make my way over there, and I say, I'll just make my way over there.
All right, you make your way over there. You move at half normal speed, and you use up your standard action to move because you're still staggered. You get over there in time to see something messing around in the back of the truck nearest to you.
So I as I said that, it's maybe I'm just standing there and I'm just I hope you're going to give that out to people who need that.
There's a pause, and a figure looks at you. You hear a distorted laugh. Oh, that's a good one. He raises a limb towards you, and I need you to make another dodge check.
Okay.
Don't fuck up.
Don't fuck up. Thanks. Now, I've put the injury in there. I don't know if it...
Its dodge has nothing to do with injuries.
Right,
Only
good.
toughness does.
18.
You see something whoosh through the smoke towards you. You duck at the right time, but then there's another one that's coming low, and you're just too gunked up by your blood to get it. It collides with your ankles, and you're like, oh my god, my leg is gonna get cut off. But you just hear a tink into the pavement behind you, and you can't move your feet.
Okay. Well, I mean, what does a patink mean? What does that mean?
You hear the sound effect, patink, into the pavement behind you.
As
when
in
it collides with your
it
ankle.
missed me?
No, as in you feel it around your ankles, followed by a patink into the pavement behind you because you've just been pinned to the pavement behind you.
Okay. So I just look down and it's we're on the same side here, right?
And we'll go to break at that attempt at being on the same side with this person.
We're about to get fucked up by a metal man. Or a couple of metal men, so.
You said, hey buddy, we're on the same side. Something like that. Right? He laughs. Aaron, you've just been sliced the fuck up. And the back of the truck that you're next to has just been cut off. What do you do?
Yeah, so...
Remembering that you're also staggered, hindered, and dazed, so...
So I'm just like, oh, the hell? That really stings. I'm gonna need a lot of oil for this one.
Wait, wouldn't the metal be not able to grasp him because of how oily he is?
I mean...
I think of it like a net.
I would like to invoke oily nature.
Like if you spin around, do you just constantly spin?
If I had given him a +2 circumstance bonus, he still would have failed his dodge check.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
We will not retcon this. However, in the future, when you want to call on your oiliness as a circumstance bonus, you'll have to be on top of that.
Can he do like the thing from like what was that movie with Clive Owen in it that he was eating a carrot while shooting guns? Fuck, what was that fucking... Shoot 'em up! Where he slides on his back for an unusual amount of time because of oil while shooting people and eating carrots. Real thing! He also burns a lady while killing people with guns. It's the dumbest movie ever.
Now, when you say real thing...
Anyway, what do you do, Aaron?
Yeah, so I see that the truck is busted up. It's like, the hell happened? And I'm just kind of try to look off. I'm going to try to see if there's anyone still around that's not knocked unconscious.
Now, are you approaching the truck that's been cut, or are you saying right where you... So, to put it in perspective, you've just freed yourself from the wall that's adjacent to the truck. You're not next to the truck at this point. You can't move there if that's where you're wanting to look around, or are you saying you want to look around in the space that you're in?
No, well, I've already seen these two, so I'm going to go to the truck.
All right, you move to the truck. That takes your action because you're hindered. So as a free action, you can look around. You can give me another perception check.
Sure, let's do that, because this one's not going to go horrible.
I mean, at least you can't have your eyes gouged out when you fail.
There's my roll.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do not... You hear Sydney and this guy talking. You don't see them.
Can I tell what general direction?
Yeah. Past the truck that you're at. They're at the next truck. You can hear them there.
Okay. So yeah, I'm probably going to be facing that direction.
So you hear, Sydney say, we're on the same side. You hear another laugh. You also hear the whoosh of whatever this thing that keeps whooshing and all this smoke is. And you're like, oh, like for a second, because you think you're going to get hit, and nothing happens. You don't hear a following sound, but then you hear scraping along the inside of the truck. And Sydney, you see this guy's laughing you off as you say you're on the same side. All of the medical supplies in this truck are being dragged out at once as this guy walks out of the back.
So has he pinned me? Is that what's happened? I can't move.
Yeah, your feet are pinned in place. You can't move right now.
Alright. I want to try and stop this guy if I can.
How?
Can I use extra effort to, like, break the pin and punch this guy or something?
You can't do it to automatically, but you can use extra effort in your attempt to break the wire.
Can I use it so that... So how is the wire pinning me exactly?
It's literally wrapped around your ankles, and it's buried. Some facet is buried into the pavement beneath or beside you.
Could I, like, pull my leg out in such force that it would hurt me, but also allow me to get out of it?
No. I mean, you can intentionally hurt your own leg, which might do something, but might not. You can also just try and break out, and you might accidentally in the process hurt yourself.
So, I mean, okay, I can re-roll. I can assist my own rolls, right?
Well, you can make it better, yeah.
Yeah. I can also change something about a scene.
Yeah, you can add narrative details as long as they do not conflate with something that's already been described.
Okay, and the last one was I could append my own power somehow, yeah?
Yes, you can use extra effort. Hold on a second. Directing your attention to the extra effort section in your books. Extra effort is a thing that replicates how great superheroes are. The idea being that superheroes can call on their inherent superness.
What was the
to
page
give
again?
Extra effort. Page 19 and 20.
Thank you.
You can do
A power
with
stone?
extra effort. You can do an extra action. You can get a circumstance bonus to your roll.
Can I
you
do
can-
a power stunt? Is that possible in this variation of your system? Could I exhort enough will to sort of make the blood do something, like maybe try and stop him by grabbing him, like pin him?
So what we need to look at there is, because what you're looking at doing is a power stunt, which is one of the things that you can do, but specifically, power stunts only let you do an alternate effect. So we actually need to look at alternate effect in the powers chapter.
Okay.
So just to see exactly what that allows for.
Because, you know, metagame wise, if I stop this guy from moving, maybe I might get assistance from someone who's close by. Maybe. But otherwise, you know, it's also me trying to stop him from taking what is rightfully the people's medicine, yeah? So...
One moment. I'm
Un momento?
bringing myself to the alternate effect section of the book, which has not been...
Yeah, I like how they don't mention what page that is on.
Yeah,
Seems
it'll
like they
say,
should.
go check alternate effect in such and such chapter, but not the page number. All right, alternate effect. This modifier allows you to swap out this effect for an additional alternative effect. For example, a damage effect as a descriptor might also have dazzle. Okay, so you can't actually use alternate effect because it does not allow you to undo your uncontrolled modifier on your power. It lets you do with a power that's like, so alternate effect is literally described as if you have a laser attack, for example, you could have an alternate effect that doesn't hurt anybody but dazzles them with light, because it's, instead of doing the thing that it's supposed to do, it does something else. In this case, your power is uncontrolled by you. You cannot remove the negative flaw uncontrolled with extra effort. At least in my current reading. I may go back and reread this and notice something I'm not noticing right now, but
Okay.
that's what I'm seeing for now.
So there's no way I could, for a temporary amount of time,
Control your power. No, not
like
presently.
at least force it to do something. Yeah.
Not presently, no. But you are absolutely capable under your own power of trying to break these bonds.
All right,
You
let's do that then. Whatever we need to do.
Even
do that.
you could do something else as well, but that is certainly on the table. So make an athletics check. Now, are you using extra effort to improve this, or are you going to save that?
I will. I mean, this seems like the heroic time, right? So, I feel like I would be like very frustrated, at least at this point. So yeah, I will.
All right.
So what does that do?
So make an athletics check, and you're using extra effort just to improve the check.
Yeah.
Then give it +5.
How's a 16 do for you?
That
That was a very poor roll. Wait, what?
is very.
No, that's a 8.
It's an 8 +5, plus your modifier. So you got 2 + 6 + 8.
All right, fair enough. Is that not good enough?
Nope. It's good enough that you dislodge the binding from the ground behind you, and you're capable of hindered movement still. But you're not capable of. You followed that with, free myself and then go.
All right. How about
the
I
guy.
grab the restraint and I pull it towards me?
What do you mean?
Like it's connected to him, yeah?
Nope. It was connected to the ground behind you. You've just pulled it out of the ground behind you.
Okay, I obviously don't understand what I'm seeing because I'm imagining it's snaking out of him, but if you're saying it's like he's just controlling metal and it's moving around me.
No, literally. So as I described it previously, it collided with your ankles and then embedded itself in the ground behind you.
Yeah, I thought that was still connected to him.
No, there's no part. Like you've just pulled it out of the ground behind you. It's still wrapped around your
Okay,
feet.
so what left can I do? Can I do anything?
You've used your action to break free to
So
some
no?
extent. So no, you cannot do anything else.
All right, I do nothing.
You've got free actions to speak to him. If you
Yeah,
want
and I'm
to.
just like, this isn't what you should be doing.
He's still just sort of like chuckling to himself. He opens one of the. So, first of all, he moves past this thing and it keeps moving by itself. It's actually heading towards the wall behind the truck. He pops open one of the medical containers, like sifts through it, sort of chuckling to himself. It says, "Hey, buddy, looks like you need some of this." And he rolls it along on the ground, and a little bottle like hits into your feet, and you can see it says anticoagulant. And he like laughs to himself, and he heads over to the other truck, where Aaron, he's heading. You like hear him laughing towards you. You don't see him. He's heading towards your truck.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start trying to step towards laughing. Like, who is laughing in this situation? As I try to peer through the smoke and the pain.
Because you're heading towards him and he's heading towards you, but you're like right at the truck. You run into him before he gets to the truck, and he's sort of laughing to himself and doesn't notice you, and then all of a sudden gets an eyeful of,
A Spartan.
yeah, but like 8 foot tall, hairy, acne riddled, teen Hulk Spartan who's also bleeding from the abdomen. And he sort of stops. He's like, ugh. You get a full view of this guy. He has a gas mask on. He has ski goggles on that, and he's got a bandana tied over his head. He's got a turtleneck, and he has bandanas around his forearms as well, and just sort of jeans after that. He's got a belt filled with pouches, and it looks like he's wearing some sort of harness. His gas mask and bandana have a sort of really chintzy skull spray painted on them.
Okay.
He's sort of like, whoa.
Hey, I don't know who you are. What are you doing here?
The moment I hear Aaron talk, like, do I recognize it's his voice? Is it recognizable?
You recognize it's his Hulk voice because
Okay.
his Hulk voice is very, like, distinctly more bass than a human can have bass in their voice.
Sure, yeah. I say, Aaron, don't let him get away.
Yeah. Easy enough. And I go to just try to grab this guy.
All right.
Yeah,
This-
use your special abilities to pin his ass.
So you're trying to grab him?
Yeah.
That means you get to roll buff grappling.
You had a special ability though, didn't you?
Yes.
Or like
if
a talon or something.
if the thing is, it's a fast grab, so I can use it as a free action. I believe.
Which is important since you are low on actions because you're hindered.
So yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
get dunked on.
I mean, this guy technically gets to still make a resistance to this.
So when do crits come into play in this game at all?
Literally on attack checks.
Is this not an attack check?
This is an attack check.
Is or isn't?
It is an attack check.
Okay.
So it does factor.
This is a crit, right?
Yeah. So when you make an attack check and get a natural 20, you automatically hit regardless of the target's defense, and you score a threat. The hit might also be a critical hit, sometimes called a crit. To find out if it's a critical hit, determine if the attack check total is equal or greater than the target's defense. If so, it is a critical hit. If not, the attack still hits, but as normal. But as a normal attack,
You pick
does
him up,
not.
turn him upside down, and make him into a sturdy pole in the ground.
We'll see.
His head goes all the way to China.
So let's talk about increased threat ranges. Or no, not. Let's talk about threat. The critical hit can increase the effect, add an effect, or have an alternative effect. So you can increase the attack's effect by +5, which is essentially an additional degree of attack. But you're grappling here, so you're not actually dealing damage. You're trying to basically apply a like bound affliction. You can add an effect. In this case, you could add, say, damage. Like you actually do like knock his head against the thing when you're doing it or something.
When he rolls the crit, does a referee come out and start banging on the canvas next to him?
So, what do you want to do here with your threat from the crit?
Right. So if I do, so when I grab him, I want to grab him and just basically slam him into the floor like I just picked up a ragdoll. Just,
Okay. Trying to see what your damage would be that he has to toughness against. I think it's 11 plus 15. Okay. Roll 1. 20.
Oh shit! Really?
What? Yeah.
You had
somebody
one
left.
job. Don't fuck with the cameras.
Peachy cut out and then cut back in. Don't ask me why. It's all his fault. Blame him forever.
Pocket dimensioned my camera.
God damn it, Peachy. God damn
Should
it.
have known better.
Oh, I'm Captain Kirk now. I mean Aubrey. Would like some green ladies.
I mean, who doesn't?
I mean,
I totally have a Captain Kirk complex. If you're,
I actually went to see Star Trek Beyond today.
right?
don't.
I'm not going to spoil you everything. I'm not going to spoil you anything.
Don't spoil anything, please.
My reaction was,
You basically like Buddha's palm this guy, just wham, and he goes sailing into the pavement. There is an audible clack against the parking lot as his gas mask like scuffs against the ground, and his laughter has stopped. Say anything catchphrase? You just found out what the Spartan's cooking, or so, I don't know. That's the
I had one.
it's time to get emotional.
I had one. I had it written down.
express your feelings.
Time to get
You
a.
don't even know the real me.
You're not my real dad.
No, I won't tidy my bedroom.
Career.
Busy.
But I want to paint my walls black.
This expresses who I am.
Don't look under the mattress.
No, we're just gonna go like, poof, oops. Did I do that?
Did I do that?
That's all I
He peels himself off of the pavement, and he's like, "Oh shit, you are fucking jacked. Oh my god, you done fucked up, bro." He, quick as lightning, pulls something out of his. It's almost sort of Wild West, where he like rips it out of his belt and slams his hand down and fires something at you, and there's a kuthunk. I need you to make a dodge.
Yeah.
21.
Swear I wrote it down.
He's looking for his catchphrases.
I swear I wrote it down.
Oh. Royal. Sorry.
The whole point of
I wrote
catchphrase is being
royal
memorable,
instead of
by the
roll.
way.
Yeah, actually. Something ka-chunks out of his thing. You wheel this way, and something goes sailing in the smoke, sailing through the smoke past you, into the night.
Hitting poor Bobby in the corner.
Sydney, it's your
Yep.
turn.
All right. Can I move and attack?
No,
Can I?
you don't. You don't have move action still because you're hindered. So in order to move, you have to use your standard action.
Okay. So, how do I get rid of hindered?
Recovery requires a minute of full rest.
Okay. Oh, I'm just
You can
gonna.
also use a hero point to remove conditions.
I'm pretty sure I've already used it. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up behind him and say, "You're outnumbered. I suggest you leave those packages and go."
Or you'll what? Bleed on me? This dude, he got fucked up by Aaron's attack, but he's still standing.
Is there like a? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Go on.
So that's you move and you say that.
Well, I literally can't do anything else, right? So.
Aaron, your turn again. This dude just tried to shoot a thing at you.
Wait, didn't you grapple him? Isn't he grappled? Is that a thing that happens in this game?
Yeah, he chose for his thing to deal damage as his alternate effect.
Okay.
So,
Isn't it
and-
like an alternate effect, as in on top of the grapple?
no, like he changed the effect to damage, which is a good idea because he had this huge crit, right? So,
Sure. Okay.
like it dealt a shitload of damage to this guy instead of grappling him.
All right, makes sense. You're muted.
So, all right, it is your turn again, Aaron. You're muted, by the way.
Anyways, yes.
So,
He just shot at me.
Yep.
Oh hell no! So I'm gonna just like take my hands, grab the ground, and try to launch myself and try to tackle him.
all right, so you make the exact same.
Going for a grapple.
I was hoping you
Excuse
got,
me, I was sneezing.
I was hoping you got to like bitch slap him into the fucking van or something like that. I would have been okay with that too.
All right, so go ahead and do a thing.
Yeah.
24.
All right.
Man, you're crushing it today.
He can technically possibly dodge this.
I mean, he has a plus 10, right? So.
He's got a plus 10 to his shot, though. And what
Okay.
matters here is actually parry. So he does not have plus 10 to parry.
Parry with a gun?
No, so
Or parry with
parry is the I'm in a melee with someone defense. You are not actually parrying someone. It's just the name of the
Got it.
defense for being in melee.
I totally read how this system works.
Yeah, you did. He does not.
Crushed.
He does not do that. So
Do my
you
homework.
tackle him. You succeed in tackling him. Is the actual intent here to deal damage or to actually restrain him?
Restrained. The intent is to restrain.
All right. So he will have to make a. I believe it's fortitude resistance here to try and not be restrained. He will make it against your.
So he gets 2 defenses?
He gets a dodge, he basically, everybody always gets 2 defenses.
Yeah.
You always get the opportunity to cause the thing to whiff.
And then not take the damage. Yeah.
And then not take the actual effect.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, he definitely takes the effect. He is definitely restrained.
He gets
Why don't you describe to me exactly how you are restraining him?
So, like I said, I threw my hands on the ground, just gripping the asphalt in the parking lot, just launching myself at him, flying bullet train at him, catch him with my humongous hairy shoulder. No, there's probably like some arm knee on there. No, just back knee, probably one pop.
slow motion,
Anyway.
like, oh, gross.
And as we're flying through, I'm either going to hit a truck, a wall, or something. And
Just
You
pin
don't have to
against
deal
it.
damage to him, but what you're saying is you're pinning him with your shoulder against a thing.
something, whatever's in front of us.
You throw him against the side of the truck, and he's like, "Fuck, man, come on! This ain't your shit."
No one said it was yours either, little man.
Oh, fucking hero complex. Okay, that's fine. You think I'd walk through this city and cause trouble if I couldn't deal with fucking the Hulk?
The sass on this motherfucker.
You hear something like... You literally hear something charging on him, like... Do you do anything?
Nope. Aaron thinks he's pretty tough. He's like, yeah, go ahead and try it. Let's see who can last longer.
All right, so you don't break the grapple, which means you do not get the opportunity to not be hit by this, but you can still resist. As something on this guy basically just discharges electricity through you in the truck.
Electricity.
He's a magnet motherfucker.
You just
So you make a
figuring that out?
fortitude roll. You make a fortitude defense roll. You're going up against a DC of 25.
Oof. All right. Come on, Aaron. Ah.
Pretty close.
All right, so that means you fail by... hold on a second. I need to go check the chart again. Why do I not have the chart in front of me? Well, because you were looking up extra effort earlier, Spencer. Thanks, Spencer.
He fails by 8.
What CR rating is this? 17 is a fail?
Yeah. So the check result was 17, and he had a damage bonus of...
By the way, Sydney, the whole time this fight's going off, like, the message is still coming through. Beep, 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 beep.
All right.
I've literally done 2 words.
So
You think that I have it with me is...
you, unfortunately, this is sufficient with your... Well, it's not. You fail by 2 degrees, which means you get a further -1 to further resistance checks. And you get another dazed. That stacks. You're literally incapable of moving. So the...
That means he's pinned against the wall forever.
No, the grapple breaks
Okay.
because of the damage, which breaks the grapple, and you are not unconscious. But if you've ever seen like a superhero movie, you're sitting there in the smoke, literally sizzling, like wafts of smoke are coming off of you, like someone just hit you with their power blast attack. He drops to the ground. The tires on the truck that you just pinned him to are melted. And he like scampers away. Like he's not getting up like a cool guy or anything. He scampers away practically in between your legs, and rushes over to the truck that you guys were, the back of the truck that you just pinned him to.
God damn it! I'm not
Sydney,
going to
it's
be.
your turn,
I'm not going to be able to
technically.
do anything because he moved, and I'm going to have to move to catch up. This is bullshit. Fucking
No,
goddamn
you
it.
moved. You used your standard. Okay, let me
Yeah.
re-explain this. The Spartan and this guy were next to the truck that he hadn't already robbed.
Sure.
The Spartan attacked him, no movement. You moved up behind him, set a line. The Spartan just pinned him to this truck and just did this electricity discharge thing.
Yeah, and now he
You are
moved
still
again.
right there.
I'm still right here.
Yep.
All right then.
I'm going to attack him. I don't know with what.
With? So yeah, what with is important here for you because you don't have you can't control your power to actively attack him. So are you just trying to tackle him like a normal person?
Yeah, I'm just trying to stop this guy. Like maybe I'm hitting him. Like, is there like a stick or rhubarb, something like that around by that I can just use to hit this guy with? Though he controls magnets, so that'd probably be a bad idea. But yeah, I'm just gonna punch him. Fuck it.
You're presuming a lot about this guy's power.
Actually, you know what? What is he? You said he has like a gas mask and shit on him.
Yeah, he's got a thing.
I'm gonna fucking rip that off and try and punch him.
Okay. You roll fighting, which you can do from your sheet with one of your blank close combat skills because you don't have an applicable close combat skill.
Oh, I mean, if my intention is to damage his gear, is that demolition?
Sure, but it won't hurt him. It'll be incapable of hurting him if you target his gear. And you will only get +1 to it, so I don't know if that's worth it.
Okay, yeah, fair enough, yeah, alright. How's a 4 go for you? Does that work?
He can take a routine check and pass. So you haymaker swing at him, and he just sort of like whoop, 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 underneath it. He's in the back of the truck behind you. Does something with a boot on a thing, and the contents of this truck start being pulled out of the back of the truck, and he literally is standing on top of it, like gloating, like, well, bleeds a lot and super puberty. I'll see you guys later. Good news, you've made my shit list. Bad news, you've made my shit. You know what? Fuck both of you and the horse you rode in on. Peace out. And he, like, you didn't see us the first time because you were focusing on him, but the stuff he's standing on reaches this back wall and then starts going up it.
Okay.
It is your turn, Spartan, but you cannot move unless you spend a hero point. Did you already spend a hero point this episode?
I do not yet.
Okay, so you could spend a hero point to remove your inability to move, but you wouldn't be able to use it to actually modify what you do.
I think Aaron's had enough.
All right.
Hey, Sydney, when we get a horse...
Yeah, maybe I'm like over there just like sort of doing what I can to help him, I guess. Just like, I don't know, he's probably one of those teenagers that thinks he's entitled to everything. So maybe that's his proverbial horse.
I know the feeling.
All right, as combat has ceased, you guys are capable of movement. Those are air quotes because those conditions you are experiencing are still in effect.
Sure.
You will basically have to have your wounds tended to, and you will be fine.
Speaking about tending to wounds, I'm gonna try what I can to make sure that the soldiers are alright. The ones that aren't cut in half, I guess.
All right. So so first of all, you hear the sound of helicopters fast approaching. You might not want to be here soon, but you can see that there are 8 soldiers that are pinned to walls and are unconscious. There are 4 dead soldiers, and there are 4 soldiers who have been in the truck the whole time trying to get it to drive away. The ones that were in the truck that got hit by the electricity, like, their car's dead. So they just stopped trying to drive away, and now they're like getting out of they're looking around like, what the fuck is happening? They're not leaving the truck.
So I want them to see me doing my best to make sure that the soldiers are okay. That's my intention here.
All right, so you
don't actually want to help them. You just
no. I don't want them to be like,
you're one of those.
No, it's not. I'm gonna do treatment rolls, obviously.
You can do 2 things here. You have to do 2 things to accomplish that, Sydney. The first thing you have to do is roll treatment to actually help.
Yeah.
The second thing you have to do is roll persuasion to appear to be helping, like to actually impress upon them the fact that you were helping and not a bad guy.
Okay. Well, aside from those soldiers seeing us beat the shit out of this guy, or try to.
They would not have, because they were in the front of the truck and you guys were fighting behind the truck.
How fucking convenient.
Yeah, that is kind of convenient, isn't it?
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do a treatment roll here.
Treatment first. Well, it tells me which roll you make anyway. It doesn't matter. You do them in any order.
How about 12?
12, you cannot resuscitate anybody. They're all unconscious. They're not going to die, but you can't bring anybody around.
What about anyone that's got, like, okay, fine. My treatment is so bad, I don't do anything to help them. That's fucking Jesus.
Well,
It
you
seems
failed
like...
the roll.
What is the DC? What is a normal DC to, like, help a human being?
To bring someone out of unconsciousnness is a 15.
Okay, what about, like, making sure that they don't exacerbate their condition?
They're fine. Like, they're
Great.
unconscious.
So now
but
I need to make a persuasion roll?
There's two types of soldiers here right now. Completely cut in half and very dead and unconscious.
Sure.
Could not bring anybody out of unconsciousness.
Okay.
So now make a persuasion roll to impress the people in the truck who are watching you with the fact that you are being very helpful and not a bad guy.
Watch me fail this roll. What's the DC? Give me that.
Did you already use your hero point?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I used it to try and break out of the thing, which ultimately did nothing.
Oh,
so.
Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Which is what's allowing
How's a
him to move around
14? Is
now.
that good enough?
Unless you go up and ask them, you are not aware of how impressed they are that the fact that you were helping.
Does it look like I'm helping?
Sydney, not Sydney, Aaron, you
Aaron
are
is trying to slink away.
you are very hurt, and Sydney's hanging around, and there's a helicopter coming around. So are you going to try and get him to come with you, or just let him?
I see him helping the soldiers. Like, all right, I think they'll be fine. And, okay, don't fall out of me, buddy. Hold them together.
So you hold your organs inside your body as you slink away. Sydney, are you leaving at this point?
No.
All right, what are you doing?
Again, it's not a 10-second thing. I'm making sure that these people are okay.
I'm asking after you've done this, because this is past now. You've made the rolls. You have succeeded as much as you will succeed or fail.
So let me re-elaborate something here. Sydney thinks that these soldiers are here to help, so he wants to help them. It's not like, okay, I got to run away because I'm a bad guy.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is you've gone to each soldier. You can't resuscitate any of them.
Then I'd go to the ones that are coming out of the car and say, do you need any more assistance?
All right. So you go to the ones out of the car and say, do you need any more assistance? And they pull their sidearms on you and say, put your hands above your head and get on the ground.
Okay, I do that.
All right. They get on the radio and say, yeah, we got an afflicted here. Yeah,
Afflicted.
at least 4 dead. 8 unconscious. Roger that. Got this under control. As I sort of leans over to the other guy and says, yeah, the backup's going to be here in a few minutes. And you hear the helicopter flying overhead. And as it flies overhead, the helicopter rotary blades start blowing the smoke away.
Sure.
And so you can see you already could see the full extent of the carnage. But anybody else watching sees 8 soldiers pinned to walls, 4 soldiers cut in half, and 2 cars with your hands on your head and on the ground complying with orders. You can look ahead and see that the thing that was keeping this car stationary.
Big old metal stake through it, yeah?
Nope. There's a James Bond-esque piston that has, from like a platform, drilled itself into the ground and shot up into the engine block of this car.
So they slid it underneath and then shot it up?
It basically, there was something that slid underneath these cars and then it popped up and kept them both pinned there. The helicopter is staying in position, and we see the camera overhead, sort of as if another helicopter circling this helicopter watching it. You see the soldiers holding Sydney Joshua at gunpoint on the parking lot. You also see from other parts in the city multiple squads converging on this point. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Sweet. I took the fall. Yeah, sure is. This system seems like super weird to make like simple checks. Like it seems like the DC is really high in a lot of cases. So I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, we're gonna do some shout outs now. Let's start with Fuzzy Freaks, our paper master of the group.
Who am I? Right. Yes, hello, I'm Fuzzy Freaks. I am half asleep now. But yeah, sort of like I do things at twitch.tv/Fuzzy Freaks. And recently I've been playing RimWorld and We Happy Few, which is pretty fucking rad.
That isn't out yet though, right?
No, it's still in alpha. Most of the story isn't in, it's just the survival elements. But the survival elements are pretty interesting. It's not bad for an alpha.
It's not survival elements if your intent is to murder every living being in the entire vicinity.
Shh. I'm surviving. They're not.
Speaking about surviving, let's go to our resident survivor, Mr. Peachy Pixel, living in the land of Britannia.
Stop, just stop.
He's got survivor syndrome.
Wow.
Hey guys, I'm Peter Pixel8. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, hit follow on my face. Okay, that didn't work, but you fell for it. You kind of paused the video and you can't even hear me now. But find my name, I'm in the chat, follow me, I'm going to stream directly after this. GG.
No,
You little prankster, you.
Yeah, pick up all this sweet love.
Speaking about sweet love, let's go over to Mr. Nightmare.
I'm gonna start like intentionally trying to see Dave's segue.
Yeah.
Speaking of trying to see,
Well, he's so sleep deprived, it'll probably work as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Nightmare. I also do the video games on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/Nightmare. I play regular old boring video games, and I normally try not to get my characters killed, like today. Normally.
But
Murdering infants.
Speaking of murdering infants,
Yeah, let's beat that dead horse again. How many infants have you killed today, Kelsa?
that was the segue to Kelsa both times today. By
Yeah.
the way.
Thank you. No
Infanticide
injured
confirmed.
in the making of this video. So
Except for
There's that.
my inner child was removed because of the higher DCs.
You're dead inside anyway.
Removed out back
it's not
and
an
shot
infinite
like
fun.
old Yeller.
I'm pretty sure even your inner child is like 16 and horny. So
No, we did that earlier. I mean, we had 4 boobs at one point in this show. So.
that was mine. Those are my boobs. Thank you.
You don't own them just
You're
because you
welcome.
slept with them.
get your
Jesus.
own boobs. God.
Jesus. Now you called me not knowing anything about it. You don't own boobs just because you sleep with them.
That is true.
Speaking about not owning boobs, let's go over to our game master, Dr. Wreckage.
It's true. I have technically mammary glands because all humans do, including males. But they have not been stimulated for growth.
Wreckage hates fun. Sucker
You
fun
need,
Archer.
you need to. Well, you can actually do that. I mean, you just sort of like suck on, sort of get someone to suck on your nipples every day. And,
Soy milk.
Yeah, just
yeah,
get
soy milk. That's
someone.
true.
Eating
You had
lots
to
of
stop
chicken.
You
will
had
do
to
that
stop
too.
drinking soy milk, didn't you, Peachy?
There was moobage.
Interesting. Anyway, hello, I'm Dr. Wreckage. I was the GM. I put together this all. Certainly didn't expect it to go this way. If you like what you saw, please follow me on Twitter at Dr. Wreckage. It's right below my Game Master title because Dave is a great producer. If you like Magic the Gathering Online, I stream that from my Twitch, which is not the same. I just posted in chat, though, so you can see how to spell that. Had a lot of fun here tonight. We'll be back again next week, same time, same place. But we also, most of us in this sphere, do other games, other TTRPGs on other channels. And the best way to be in touch for all of them is to follow us on our various Twitches. So please do that.
All right, and thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you had fun. If you like this and you want to see more of our shit, we have a lot more of it. You can go check out the archives over on the YouTube channel. Or if videos aren't your thing and you like filling your ears with sweet memories, you can go over to the Dive Party SoundCloud account and check out the podcasts there, which are also on iTunes and shit. Speaking about next content coming up, on Monday we will have Die Party Night City, which is a Cyberpunk 2020 adventure. That game is really good. We're going to be stepping into Season 2 next week, and I believe Fuzzy is joining us for that. You're coming in, yeah?
Yep.
She has a fantastic new character. It's going to be great. And I believe on Wednesday will be the very first episode of Iron Saddles, which is our brand new show about a space western, which is literally filled with glorious aliens. You can check out the very first faction turn that we had over on the YouTube channel. It's not over on the SoundCloud because it doesn't really work as a podcast because there's a lot of visual elements to it. But yeah, absolutely, that's the stuff that we're working on. And then obviously, Thursdays we have Fulcrum. Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if you get the opportunity to sleep with a woman with 4 breasts, try and bring a pen with you so that you can write down.
Yeah, remember
notes.
to bring a pen.
Remember to bring a pen. It's very important.
We've learned to always bring pens to one-night stands tonight.
That's right. Good night,
It comes
guys.
handy for multiple applications.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.